quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes. I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Come on in to Total Wine & More. Prices much lower than a grocery store. Spirits, wine, beer for a whole lot less. Walking down the aisles makes you stop and say, yes. From mixing cocktails, a friendly get-together, or a brunch outdoors, Total Wine has everything you need and more. With the lowest prices and best selection for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. We have all sorts of stuff to talk about. We got Suns, GCU, ASU, the NFL. We have college football dance party coming up in the next hour for all your college football needs. But I can only think of one thing right now, Randy. There's one thing that it's on my mind. And I'm not even a Lord of the Rings fan, really. Yeah, I fell asleep trying to watch those movies back when they were on DVD. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole lot of, like, one big tall guy and a bunch of little guys walking and walking and walking and talking and walking and walking and walking and talking. I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
I might have missed some good stuff in there, but I slept through it. So, well, now this new Lord of the Rings movie is coming out, and you know those commemorative popcorn buckets you get? Like Deadpool has one that's filthy. It's just basically Wolverine's open mouth, and well, you know what they're going to do with that. And well, so now AMC has made one for this upcoming animated movie, Lord of the Rings: War of the Rohirrim. It's
Rohirrim.
Rohirrim, spelled Rohirrim. So it's the War of the Rohirrim. But here's the thing. Their popcorn bucket is in the shape of a war hammer, and it's over 2 feet long. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
I actually want that. It's all I can think of is how do I get one without having to go and see the movie? I just need one of these, you know?
Yeah, I think you do. That would be a great collection in your office. Yes.
It's a damn manly popcorn bucket right
Damn
there.
right it is. Yeah.
Of course, they knew they were dealing with just nerds, or else who in their right mind would hand out spiked things to a crowd of people who might get rowdy?
Well, that's true.
Somebody's going to get stabbed because there's a big spike at either end of this thing.
I don't think so. I mean, Miss Kim is a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Huge. I've seen the movies twice, and
sorry for your.
I'm not sorry. It was at wife point, and so I have learned to appreciate. As a matter of fact, my nickname is Randolph the Gray.
Right.
Sort of like Gandalf the Gray.
I get it. Yeah.
Randolph the Gray.
Why do you put up with that? Why would you want to be called the Randolph the Gray?
I think it's cute.
Oh, look at this. I've never
anyway.
looked better. Look at that filter.
Oh my gosh.
When I showed everybody the popcorn bucket on YouTube.
That's the Sybil Danning soft focus there, isn't it?
I was going to say, yeah, that's the Star Trek, woman look.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Captain Kirk would be crawling up my leg right now if he saw this.
Yeah, I bet he would.
Anyway, so I kind of want to get one of these. I don't know how to get one without going. I'm just saying, December 13th, somebody's getting stabbed with one of these. That I guarantee. I guarantee it.
I don't
think
know.
so.
Like you
Yeah, I
said,
don't
we're
think so.
dealing with a lot of nerds here. No one's stabbing anybody.
Keon, you going to that movie?
No.
Not that you're a nerd, or I'm not saying.
I mean,
that at all.
I am, but this is
Are
not.
you,
This is not
are
the
you
particular thing that I am nerdy about. So.
Not a Lord of the Rings guy.
I like it. I liked the movies back in the day, but I wasn't like I have friends that are like, when they're not in a great mood, they'll watch all three of them. And you're just like,
What would I have to do to get you to go to watch this movie to get Jeffrey that popcorn container?
I don't know.
What would I have to do? Buy the popcorn?
I have a question.
Yeah, just
Yes.
I mean, or just.
Do you have to have a ticket to the movie to go to the concession stand?
Yes.
I think you kind of have to have a ticket.
Yeah, they won't let you in the lot. I mean, it depends on the movie theater. Some of them.
It's AMC. So what if I just went to a different movie, but still got the Warhammer?
Okay, you could do that.
What if they?
To my knowledge, I don't think
You have to watch the Lord of the Rings movie to get the popcorn.
Yeah, I don't think the person that's standing there selling you the popcorn and candy and whatever else is going to check that. Are you really?
Just to be careful, though. I probably should dress nerdy.
You
put on like a Viking helmet.
I mean,
or something.
I don't think there are Vikings in that story. I feel like
Doesn't
that's
matter. The guy behind the counter is not going to know any different.
unless he's also a nerd.
Like, give me some popcorn, Hobbit, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, here you go, sir." And
Well,
then-
now, some of the people in that they wear these kind of cone shaped helmets, kind of like the cone heads from
Really?
Saturday Night Live back in the day. The
I don't
Elven
wanna-
Warriors.
I don't want to tear up the headliner in my vehicle.
Well, you don't have to wear it in the vehicle. You could put it on.
Then why
once
would
you
I
get
bother?
there? Well,
you know what?
That is
I
true.
Just
That is
wear a
true.
T-shirt that says Lord of the Rings. Why would you have to
And
wear?
there it is.
Just wear the
Why don't I
T-shirt.
just wear a T-shirt that says Virgin? That'll do the same thing, right?
Okay,
just
well,
walk
do you
in.
want the Warhammer or not? I'm
I
trying
do
to help
want the
you.
Warhammer.
Okay, well, you don't need a helmet. That's cheaper. Just
We
get
just want you to go get it for me. That's what we want. You're the nerdiest person we know. So could you please just
Now-
go get this for us?
Now, Keon, quickly, I want to make sure you. I did not say you were nerdy. I
Well, he
never.
knows he's nerdy.
No,
He
I
admits he
am.
is.
Never
I just-
said that.
I am nerd adjacent. I've just not. I don't have a
I'm-
case of full blown nerdism.
I'm nerdy about
Mm-hmm.
the science fiction more than the fantasy. So
Yeah, me too. I mean, I like me some Star Wars. I like me some Star Trek. I like me some The Expanse. I like some other sci-fi shows, but I'm not going to a convention.
The Expanse. That's the size of my jean pants nowadays.
Yeah, you and me both, brother. Yeah, the Elastic Expanse. That's all about you and me. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I saw the Coneheads movie at the Glendale 9 Drive-In back in the day.
Oh,
Respect to Gandalf the Grey. By the way,
Well,
is there
Randolph the Grey?
No more there's no more drive-ins, right?
I think the Glendale 9 still exists.
Seriously?
I seem to remember somebody telling me that it still exists. I was speaking to somebody recently, and they said the Glendale 9 is still a hopping place to go.
So which one of you listeners is going to get me one of these things?
Mm.
I'll pay you for it. I just don't want to Don't want to
Well,
have to go in and get it. Just
popcorn nowadays at the movie theaters that you got to take out a small loan for one of those.
yeah, whatever you got to pay to get you can eat the popcorn. I just want the Warhammer thing.
Well, that's
all I'm asking for.
That's true. Yeah.
Swazvan says Keon is definitely the cool nerd type. At least that's how he comes across, where he was probably friends with the athletes and the kids who have bands back in high school.
That is correct.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I was friends with everybody, and it was always funny because I would stand there and talk to the jocks, and I go over and talk to the smokers. Then I go talk to the band geeks, and then I talk to the kids doing their homework in the hall, and everybody said the same thing. Then remember, this is high school, and they'd say, "Why are you hanging out with those guys? You just stay with us." And I said the same thing to the jocks, to the nerds, to everybody, because that's not what real life is like. Real life is more what I'm doing, where you're going to experience all sorts of different people throughout life. So hanging out with one, group of people, that ain't helpful. Also, I enjoy knowing everybody. So there ain't no reason to just click up. I mean, just be pals with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it made a lot of sense, but then the jocks would punch me in the arm. The nerds would be like, well, we got to get back to work. And the smokers, they were always cool about it. They're like, that's fine, man. Smokers were the most inclusive group of people. I don't know. They just were. I don't know why. Fish Tank says, Lord of the Rings rules. They're great books, too, because I read at a 6th grade reading level super well. Good for you, Fish Tank. Good for you. By the way, Fish Tank made a wish really, really hard, and it came true.
The universe answered.
I got a DM from Donnie with just getting the middle finger from number 5 of the Timberwolves, and so then I sent him one back of Zach Galifianakis just going, here from the heart, right there. But yes, the wish came true, and the Timberwolves lost last night. Oh no.
just embarrassing down the end. I don't know.
Embarrassing, and there is some weirdness in that game, right?
That is the embarrassing I am talking about.
Whose phone is doing it? Let me guess, you had a guest on the last show?
Yeah, and then I just apparently forgot to drop the line. And then I just bumped the phone.
So that was a reenactment of what happened to the Timberwolves.
Yeah, specifically to Rudy Gobert.
Right. So explain the play. So they go down the court. Rudy's like, hey, look at the mismatch I got. And he doesn't get the ball, and then he pouts and he pulls himself a 3-second lane violation
on purpose.
I would bench him and cut him.
So, and then of course the Raptors get the ball. They immediately go down the floor and score. And then Anthony Edwards is like, what the hell are you doing? It was a 5-point game. We've got 5 minutes left. This is insane. So he's going up to him, and Anthony Edwards is like chest to chest with Rudy Gobert. That it got ugly. It got very ugly at the end there. Because Rudy, I mean, I don't know if he necessarily cost them that game, but it was in reach until he did that.
What a shame.
And somewhere out there, Karl Anthony Towns, having been traded away, is smiling to himself.
Oh no.
As he averages nearly 30 points a game. Just wow, really? The problem was me, was it?
Well, so now I'm distracted by something else. First, I was distracted wanting one of these Warhammer popcorn buckets from Lord of the Rings when it comes out December 13th. Now I am distracted by Mr. Wilbur's text. And he says, did you hear the news? Brock Purdy and Nick Bosa both ruled out for the 49ers this week. Now, let me tell you why I'm distracted by that. I've got the Green Bay Packers defense, but I played the Browns defense last night because, well, we didn't know what was going on with Brock Purdy. I should have just went with the Packers because I feel like this is going to change everything. I am now, as we speak,
you too,
going into my picks and changing my pick from the 49ers. No, wait. I already had the Green Bay Packers. I had already picked them regardless of that. Oh, look, good for me.
Yeah, look at you ahead of the curve.
And watch the Niners win anyway. Whatever. Silly Wabbit says, hey, I heard there was a pretty good talent released down the dial. Any interest from the Fanatic? No. I mean, wait, who? I don't even know who you're talking about. Which
Yeah.
down which dial?
I also already had the Packers. How about that?
Do any of them like polka music? I'm asking for a friend.
Oh boy.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Gandalf is a smoker. He accepts all. Yeah, but if you're not careful, you get led on this. Here's the thing. Gandalf comes into my little house and starts talking to me about a quest. I'm like, can we Uber? Because nothing but walking across New Zealand does not seem appealing to me right now.
Mm.
I mean, I'm sure I'll be in great shape at the end of it.
Where's
but
the adventure in that?
exhausted.
Where's the adventure, though?
Just feel like it would have been quicker. You know, like maybe
Driving-
give that little elf guy the ring and say, can you shoot that up into that volcano for us? Yeah, no problem. Movie's over. It wouldn't have been 3 hours. It'd have been like 20 minutes.
Yeah, aren't there some hawks that they like use to fly that they could have they could have just ridden that to the volcano and dropped the ring in? I understand that there's no fun in it. There's no story if you do
Get
that.
a Tolkien carrier pigeon and have him just like.
All I'm saying is that in the story, it would have worked.
There's a lot of different things that work better than giving a couple of midgets that eat 2 different breakfasts. Here, could you take some jewelry up and chuck
Listen,
it in a volcano, please?
I have nothing wrong with first and second breakfast. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Now look at you offending
As
the
a matter of
breakfast
fact,
community.
I think that they got it right in having 2 breakfasts.
I'm fine with that. I don't mind eating the 2 breakfasts. I'm just saying there were more efficient ways to get this ring returned to Amazon, the Eye of Amazon. It was just a return. That's what it was. Could have had them pick it up.
Amazon?
Yeah. I fell asleep at some parts of the
Eye
movie.
of
So I couldn't.
Sauron.
Huh?
The Eye of Sauron.
Nerd. 888
I watched the movie.
Swuzman says, hey, Jeffrey, normally I don't bring up college basketball till March Madness, but what do you think about Duke at Arizona tonight? Pretty much a pick 'em. Yeah, I don't care about Arizona. I don't care about you, Arizona. I hope Duke does unto them what Duke did unto ASU. And they probably will. Scratch Me Because says Tom Brady is clearly the Lord of the Rings. Oh, you're right. You're not wrong. You are right.
But does he have as many rings as Bill Belichick?
He has more. I mean,
he has more than Belichick?
Yeah, well, didn't he?
Unless we're counting defense.
He's got 8.
I think Belichick's got 8.
Yeah, and Tommy's got 7 playing. Belichick has 8 coaching, but he just happened to be on a staff. He wasn't the head coach of the Super Bowl team. One of those was just
I
him as an
thought we were
assistant.
comparing head coach Bill.
Yeah,
to
well,
Tom.
Yeah. They're both Lords of the Rings for sure. Anyway, so yeah, that's all I can think about. I want one of them popcorn buckets. I'm going to save this.
I still think that we need to name a price, and Keon, we've got to find his price, and he'll go.
Well,
he'll go get you one.
I'll tell you what.
I mean, it's not insanely high.
I'd buy him tickets to the movie, and then I would whatever the popcorn cost. I mean,
well, there you go, Keon.
Yeah,
feel like this, but then he's like, "Yeah, but I don't want to go to that movie."
I mean, I'd have to see what this is the first I'm hearing of it. I just didn't know that it was happening. So if I see it and it looks interesting, I'll go see it.
Fish Tank says, "Damn it. Please don't make me explain how the Eagles did not want to get involved with the ring for fear of being corrupted by it. Okay."
There's more there. I'm just saying they're there. It would have made more sense to figure that out than to walk all the way there. Because
that happens in the movies, I say that too. Why didn't they just fly the Eagles to the mountain of fire
on the Eagles
and then just drop that sucker in there? It seems like it would have been a much more fun movie.
And listen, Fish Tank, if you'd have put the ring in an Amazon return package and sealed it, and then say, "Here you go, Eagle. Can you drop that?" They'd be like, "Yeah, all right." They would have never known what they were dropping in the volcano. They wouldn't have been corrupted by it.
See, that's thinking right there. That's thinking there, Jeffco.
Thank you. So yeah, Uber if you show up at my house with the staff. Sir Drives a Lot says Robert Ory is the Lord of the Rings. He's got 10 rings. Very little work.
No, he worked a lot. He wasn't the main guy on the teams, but it's not like he was coming off the bench. He was a starter.
He did his job.
Yeah.
Scratch Me Because says sounds like Jeffco wants to be Lord of the Popcorn Bucket, which is also a good texture nickname. Yeah, it's all right.
There's no
Lord of
vector.
the popcorn, but it's a mouthful though.
It's a bit much. Yeah.
The popcorn. I hate myself.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
By the way, here's another thing. I want to give everybody a piece of advice. So you remember that artwork, air quotes, banana duct tape to a wall thing?
Yes.
And then, well, they just sold another version of that for $6.2 million.
What?
Well, because as you know, AIDS, cancer, homelessness, and hunger has all been solved. So now this is it. This is the artwork. Banana duct tape to a wall.
Most art like that is actually just money laundering. It's just now
Yeah.
you have it, and then if you want to make an illegal payment to somebody,
Well, but
you
here's the
just
thing.
trade the painting.
It's
as
not the
opposed to-
original banana. So it's a whole nother banana.
right?
And it's not the original duct tape.
But someone thought, okay, this qualifies as artsy enough that I can use this to hide money inside of, essentially.
Inside the banana?
Not inside the banana,
Oh,
but
if you say that's impressive.
but once it's been valued at a certain price,
Okay.
then
Listen.
Why does Keon know so much about money laundering?
I
Do we
like
have a
crime.
problem
I
here?
like crime stories.
So
Mm.
listen, I want to make a suggestion. I'm going to do this at my house. I think
All right.
everybody else should do this too.
All right.
We should all duct tape a banana to a wall in our house, and not even like people walk by and they're like, "What the hell?" They don't even explain it. You can just say, "Yeah," point at it, go $6.2 million, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh!" So you're the idiot. You're like, yeah,
What do you do when the banana goes bad, though?
make banana bread.
Well, yeah.
I'm just talking about for a day. Get
Yeah,
a fresh
yeah.
banana on
For a
Wednesday.
day.
And then when
Okay.
people come in Thursday for the Thanksgiving, they're like, wow, Randy's doing pretty good. Look at that. Don't
Well,
no,
if
no,
it's
don't-
6.2 million for one banana, I'm going to buy a whole bunch.
It's not how it works, Randy.
What?
Don't be a child. This is not how it works. One banana, one piece of duct tape.
Hmm.
Just trust
All right.
me.
All right.
And then people are going to be driving home. And they're like, I didn't want to say anything, but oh my God, that's
Mm.
man. The White family is really making money this year.
Yeah. Yep. I could see it.
Beer Bob says, did you guys see Daniel Jones got cut by the Giants? Yeah, of course we did. You know, we do this for a living, right? I mean, we just haven't gotten around to talking about it yet. Okay, listen.
We're only 19 minutes in.
Yeah, we got to take a break. When we come back, we have many things to talk about, including Daniel, I won the lottery Jones, and a whole bunch of other stuff too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade Advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
At Diamond Dave's Desert Wholesale Diamond,
We offer incredible diamonds, both mined and cultivated, all at amazingly low prices.
check out these cultivated lab-grown diamond earrings.
2 carats total weight, collection color and lab grown, only $25.90.
And she'd love this amazing tennis bracelet in natural mind.
4 carats total weight in yellow or white gold, only $39.90.
And how about this diamond chain in cultivated?
12.5 carats total weight, collection color and lab grown, only $79.90.
And last but not least, especially this year, 1.5 carat floating diamond pendant.
Collection color and lab grown, only $9.90.
Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-611-7272. 800-611-7272.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Sunday morning, catch live NFL coverage on the Fanatic.
Get your NFL Sunday started with Weekend Warriors from 9 till 10:30. Then at 10:30, the Minnesota Vikings pay a visit to the Chicago Bears in the Windy City. Minnesota looking to get their offense firing on all cylinders. Meanwhile, the Bears look to get a win. Vikings at Bears, 10:30 Sunday.
Your home for the NFL in the Valley is 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, Glenn, here on 1580 The Fanatic. Here, Bob says, hey, listen, since Daniel Jones got cut, and since the Cowboys play the Giants on Thanksgiving, what a great troll job by Dallas it would be if they signed Jones and had him start the game since, well, their quarterbacks already suck. That would be funny, but not funny if Dallas loses. You're risking a lot with the troll job.
Now, granted,
you can't beat the Giants.
Granted, it can't. You're risking a lot, maybe, because
just face
Cooper Rush and Trey Lance are your actual options. Daniel Jones might actually be better. What the problem would be is that you would then have to take on the remaining guaranteed money for Daniel Jones for 2024. And if you were to get hurt and not be able to pass a physical, you would also take on the money for 2025 as well. I think that that's not worth the risk for the Dallas Cowboys at all.
Nobody's going to touch Daniel Jones with a 10-foot pole, right? Right?
Maybe.
Let's talk about that later. Let me clear up this text line. Fish Tank says, I've seen people clamoring for Daniel Jones to go to the Cowboys for the revenge game. And he says it would make it kind of worth watching. It's not going to happen. It
would just be funny for everyone else. No matter what the result is, it would be funny for the rest of us. For the Cowboys, if they lose, no, not so funny. For the Giants, if they were to lose, it would be even less funny. It would be, it would be a funeral over there in New York.
Moist One, I can't read that. He says, duct tape a banana to a wall. Then I can't read the rest. Moist One has found his way into parts of my life that I did not expect. Just about an hour ago, my wife asked me to put meat and buns on the grocery list. And I replied, Moist One says, just out of habit. Swuzman says, Daniel Jones is actually a good NFL quarterback, so he will be in demand.
He's a what?
I'm just waiting for the just kidding text.
When did that happen?
I'm trying to figure that out myself. When good NFL quarterback in the sense of if you surround Daniel Jones with talent, is it possible that he has a Sam Darnold-like season? Yeah, but he would literally have to be throwing to somebody of the caliber of a Justin Jefferson, protected by an offensive line like what they have in Minnesota, with a running game like what they have in Minnesota, and a defense like what they have there. If you don't have any of those things, there is no team you put Daniel Jones on that's going to start winning just because he's there.
Yeah. Swuzman says if he were on the 49ers or Chiefs, he would succeed.
I disagree. The Chiefs are having to battle and scrap with Patrick Mahomes as the guy. There's no way that Daniel Jones makes that team better. And then with the Niners, no. Daniel Jones inherited lots of wide receiver weapons, and also Saquon Barkley played most of his career there. And Daniel Jones did bupkis. One playoff victory, and it cost the New York Giants a cool $108 million. Are you working for Daniel Jones? Are you attempting to help con some team on his behalf? Because
why? Why would you though? If you're Daniel Jones, you don't have to work anymore. You've got your live the rest of your life money that is coming in for the rest of the year, $2 million a week. You got you're a made man. You're fine. You got your money.
These guys want to play. This is all they've dedicated their lives to. The times where they could have gone out partying with friends, but they practiced and all this other stuff. That they did all of that to get here. Daniel Jones did deserve to be in the NFL. You're the top 1% of 1% of athletes if you make it to the NFL, even if you don't succeed. But because you put in all that work, no one is going to just be like, I got the money, guess I'm not going to work anymore. None of those guys thinks like that, but you're not in the NFL.
I should be.
You
lacrosse
would
guy.
never have made it with that attitude. Neither would I, by the way. I am not doing it. The moment you pay me.
Lacrosse guy says Danny Nichols. No, it's more like Danny guaranteed checks JG Wentworth is trying to call him right now.
Yeah, Danny big bucks. I mean, he wasn't throwing dimes, but he's making quite a lot more than that.
Number one Rattlers fan says, hey guys, beautiful day. I'm curious if Keon wants this crazy prop bet for a pizza. Will Daniel Jones make a start the remainder of the season for another team? He says, I'll let you pick.
No, I don't think he does.
All right. So he says, no. I'd say Keon's right. Nobody wants to.
Because you'd have to take that money.
Nobody wants to accept the risk or the price.
But couldn't you take
how
that money,
little you would get in return?
Couldn't you take that money and restructure it, though? Another team? Couldn't another team?
Why would you do that for somebody who's bad at football?
Well, I mean, if you've lost your quarterback for the season, hello, Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry Jones is a businessman, wouldn't he be able to rework that in some manner?
He'd make a deal for a competent quarterback for money, but you don't make a deal like that for somebody who's already shown themselves to be bad at football.
And also to restructure the deal, you'd still have to owe it to him. Restructure just means you're pushing it till later. Like you're not. You would still have to owe him that money. And at some point, you assume Dak's going to come back. Dak is better than Daniel. It's not close.
Well, it's already bad for the Giants. They have a dead cap hit next year of like 22 mil.
I believe from what I understand, if you signed him, you'd have that. Mm-hmm. So why would you why would you take that from your division rival? You'd let them off the hook if something were to happen to him.
No, he's going to be sitting at home. He ain't doing anything.
Or he's headed north of the border to play in the Canadian Football League.
Well, but then that
season's already over.
Wouldn't that affect it too if he were to do that next year?
I think so, but I don't know. And the season because Ralph told us yesterday they played the Grey Cup. That season's already over.
Oh, if he says so.
So
never mind.
That was weird though. Like I saw that on Twitter, and then he's really standing by it, saying that I'm sitting around watching the Grey Cup with him. What kind of weird crap is that? I think I got it right when I figured I'm just his alibi or something. I'm an unwilling alibi, especially if you don't tell me about it ahead of time.
There's got to be an understanding already.
Number one Rattler says, so Keon, does that mean you've accepted the bet? Please confirm. He wants it to be a pizza bet.
Sure.
We got piles of pizzas coming.
Yeah.
Why not?
We've already got a Raiders pizza coming, so why not?
Swuzman says Jerry Jones would make a deal for Lucifer as a quarterback. Well, if you get Lucifer as quarterback,
if he thought Lucifer would actually fix his season, he'd do it in a heartbite. Daniel Jones,
eternal damnation for just a competent quarterback. That's
there's probably Jerry Jones looking himself in the mirror, going, "I'm already going to hell. Why?"
Yep. So that's why this deal's never been made. Lucifer's like, I already got that.
I already got you. And you're close.
Maybe there's some fans there I could grab. I don't know.
Unless you're gonna go on a last second. My name is Earl quest to try and turn this thing around. I got you.
Last Optimist says, "Come on, guys. The high-end art market exists solely for money laundering." Well, yeah, that's what Keon said. Yeah. Makes sense. Now, I mean, it really, this is just pushing the boundaries. Just a banana taped to the wall.
Like once people decide, oh, this is valued at whatever, then you buy it. It's worth that because somebody said so. And then, a lot of corrupt governments use it. A lot of criminals will use it to make kinds of deals by using that as the currency. It's not traceable. I can just give you the painting.
How can we get in on this?
With a significant amount of money, I assume.
I have a banana and I have duct tape. That's all I'm saying.
You'd have to probably, I don't know, choose like another 3 fruits and duct tape those to some board,
like in the
and
shape
say
of a
that,
penis,
and say that your, if you want
I
to,
need
but then
a
say that
plantain.
yours is a critique of
I need
their
a plantain
art.
and 2 limes.
If you want to, but then you have to like make it sound artistic and pretentious and go, well, my art is a critique of how, the frivolous their art is, something artsy, and then yeah, you got
I'm
to
gonna make a lot of money by going to the grocery store.
Well,
Fish
they did.
Tank says, I saw some rumors of Jason Witten possibly being the next coach in Dallas.
Oh, stop.
I guess Jarrah said some great things about him on a morning show spot, but I don't think Witten would want to put up with Jarrah. I don't think, Jason Witten's hairpiece would want to put up with Jerry. So no.
Yeah, and also like it's very rare that a guy does not coach at any level, steps into the NFL of all places, and coaches at the highest possible level, to actual success. We didn't see it work with Jeff Saturday. Like I just don't think that you could just say that. And
that was a cute moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's not legitimately a way to win.
Mr. Wilbur says, I'm not going to fall for that banana in the tailpipe trick. Yes, you are. You, of all people, are absolutely going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe trick. You have no choice. Or the dial-a-ride van that picks you up. I don't know which, but you're definitely falling for it.
Wow.
No one Rattler fan says, yeah, don't fall for that banana trick. Sir Drives a Lot says, art museums equal laundromats. Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. Silver Bop says, Jeffrey, a banana and 2 kiwis but don't tell me how to do my art, Silver Pops. Don't tell me how to do my art. You'd use kiwis. I'd use limes, But, golly. I mean, I just became an artist and all of a sudden critic. See, I
mean, you better get used to that, Jeffco.
Well, for $6 million, I could get used to it.
Yeah.
I just thought I maybe had a moment of grace before I start getting hassled by critics and
Look,
stuff.
when you put yourself out there as an artist, the world is a critic.
I get why he'd say kiwi, but it's so obvious because they're fuzzy. So, I mean, I get that's fine, but that's too easy.
But see, you're taking it on the other side of it, the manscaping side of it.
Mm-hmm. Smooth limes with a plantain, which to me represents the uncircumcised banana.
Maybe the peel just opened just a little.
Right. Just a little bit of the banana poking out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call it? I'm going to call it the fruitful penis. I wasn't even done yet. The fruitful penis of Jesus Christ. So this is what you want to do there, a little sacrilegious, and that makes it more artsy because that will make you money.
Yeah, I understand why you're going that direction. We may have lost Keon the rest of the show.
He'll be all right. Hey, so the Suns, they're not playing again until next Tuesday. What's that all about? And it's a group play for the NBA Cup.
Yeah, and actually, it couldn't come at a better time for the Suns because they need to get healthy. So, like, that's just a nice stretch of games. And part of the problem that they had was they played not more games than anybody over the last week and a half, but they are up there. They're like top 5 in the league in terms of the number of games that they've played. So they didn't have Durant and Beal, and then they played a bunch of games, and then now they're getting a bunch of days off, not to make up for it, but just, to balance out the schedule a little bit. And so now, they'll have that rest. Maybe at that point, Durant and Beal will be back, either or. That would be very helpful.
Couldn't come at a better time. The estimated return date for Beal and Durant is Tuesday. Then I'm looking over here at the Lakers. Bronny James, game time decision. We've already decided. No, thank you.
no, thank you.
No, we're going to pass.
Also, the Lakers just dropping the ball in a game they dominated from start to nearly finish.
Oh, no.
And then they just let it go at the end.
Well, I guess we'll see what is what next Tuesday. Hey, guess what? When I get excited like this, you generally know what it's about. Whenever
Bacon.
I say, "Hey, guess what? What's next?"
Bacon.
No, I do like bacon.
Mhm.
That's not what this is about. I'm saying
All right.
on air at the moment, I'm like, "Ooh, hey, guess what?
See, I always think it's bacon.
We got another short show on Tuesday."
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we're off at 4:45 for GCU basketball.
basketball.
I'll be dipped. How about that?
You should already know when I say, "Hey, guess what?" That is something like that is coming up.
Well, there's so few things you get excited about.
I
there's-
know.
I mean, bacon, short shows.
You know, I learned about bacon today.
What?
Kind of blew my mind a little bit. Do you know where bacon came from?
A pig.
No, that's true. Okay, I
Yeah.
guess I should have been a little more.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people thought it was Europeans, or like, hey, look what we can do. And turns out, no. Many people associate bacon with the European cuisine, but it turns out it's Chinese.
Oh, no kidding.
It's going to piss off a lot of rednecks.
Oh.
But around 1500 BCE, wait, what's the E for? I know BC is
but
British
before-
Columbia.
Before the Common Era is BCE.
Okay, so before the Common Era, 1500, Chinese cooks are the ones that came up with it. And it was a method that was called bakuan. Bakuan became
Sounds French to me.
bacon.
Wow, that's really cool, actually.
Bakuan, salting pork belly to preserve the meat for extended periods. And it became like a big deal. And then merchants and travelers carried this knowledge westward. It evolved and overlapped methods and how stuff went. And it first showed up in Rome and then spread throughout medieval Europe. So now it turns out the Europeans are not the ones who made the bacon. It's the Chinese. That's all. I mean, that's cool.
That's very cool. Yeah.
Now there's gonna be some people sitting there at breakfast really pissed off.
I don't think so.
It's still delicious.
What do
Yeah,
you
I
mean them damn Chinese made this bacon? I swear to God, my forefathers made the bacon. I just damn it. Just
Did you say Chinese?
It ruined my breakfast. How can I sit here and just enjoy my breakfast? No, the Chinese would come up there and they just slice up that pig belly and then they put the salt on it. And did they eat the bacon with the chopsticks? I can't buy chopsticks in my house.
You're killing me today.
Oh, next thing you know, you're going to tell me hash browns were not. Oh, God. Yeah. Hash browns. Well, that's an Indian cuisine. God damn it. I got it. Yep. So anyway,
Pantry's getting emptier by the second.
get me
Wow.
some bakuan, Yeah, I like some bakuan, please. I got to make some bakuan tomorrow morning, actually. Beer Bob says, are we really shocked it was Chinese who invented bacon? I mean, don't they cook every animal? Well, yeah, but I'm like,
Yeah, but the way you have to bacon specific, like you have to make bacon in a specific way.
I'll say.
Silver Pop says BCE stands for bacon cooking. Oh, the
Bacon
BC,
cooking era.
Bacon cooking era. Historian says, I have to say I didn't find the duct tape and the banana appealing. You don't have to eat the duct tape.
No, you listen to what you're saying.
Yeah. Just
appealing.
Is that a giggle or a 5-minute penalty? I can't tell. All right, just at least through the break. Because I kind of like that. Just went right by me, you know? Just went right by me like a fastball.
Mm-hmm.
All right, listen, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We have other things to talk about. But yeah, Silver Pops, I like that. BCE, bacon cooking everywhere. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com. Don't miss out on Black Friday sales live now through November 30th.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Multivitamins are your partners in health. Their nutrients are key to your daily well-being, especially if you're planning to become pregnant. A multivitamin rich in folic acid can help you have a healthier pregnancy and prevent birth defects. That's why the Arizona Department of Health Services is offering a free 3-month supply of daily vitamins with folic acid. To get your free vitamins, go to azdhs.gov/PowerMe-A2Z.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
Never again will you have to say, I missed that segment. I'm such a dinkus.
He's so lame.
Never miss an important segment, favorite host, or show again. Check out our podcast and listen whenever and wherever you want.
It's the reason Al Gore invented the internet.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So let's talk about tonight on the big radio station, GCU at home against Norfolk State Spartans. The Norfolk, am I saying it right? Norfolk.
Yep.
Norfolk State Spartans, and GCU, I believe, is heavily favored in this one. This one by even more than the last one, 18.5. They're favored by 18.5. But
wow,
I don't know what to trust anymore. Hey, Keon, why did they lose that game the other night against a lesser opponent? What was that all about?
Part of it is that opponent is a scrappy opponent in UC Davis. I think they played Washington earlier, and they in the year, and they kept that one close and lost by 8 to a team that's much better than them and in a bigger conference than them. Like, these guys will fight you tooth and nail, and GCU came out flat. They weren't ready to go against a team that you're gonna have to give them your best. If you're better than them, you'll beat them, but you can't turn the basketball over. They really didn't take care of the basketball to start that game, and those early turnovers dug them a hole that UC Davis, once they got that lead, they were confident, they were shooting the ball well. They're not going to let you have that back, and I think it was too little too late for GCU in the second half of that game, because they had to dig themselves out of an 11-point hole to begin with. Don't do that. Start fast, start early, get on the glass, rebound the basketball, but also when you're passing the basketball, and teams that want to jump the passing lane, you know you have to make good decisions. You can't just one-handed pass it. I mean, you've got to take care to make sure that those passes are getting to where they're going, and when you handle the basketball, protected as well. So I think that GCU just didn't play their sharpest game. They were too sloppy to start. And I think that there's a lesson to be learned there. And I'm fairly certain Bryce Drew is going to make sure that they've learned that lesson. Because they've got the talent.
Yeah, everybody's hiney is hurting after probably that post-game conversation with Bryce Drew the other night. So should be able to take care of business against Norfolk State Spartans. We'll find out tonight. 6:45 p.m. is when the broadcast starts. Like I said, GCU at home against the Norfolk State Spartans. Aiton's Army says, Jeffrey, if you leave now, you can still make it to Chicken and Pickle in time to beat Arizona sports radio personalities in pickleball. You out of your, I'm never going to play pickleball. Never going to play. And the fact that they are doing that, no wonder that somebody says that there's been layoffs down the dial. And if you find yourself playing pickleball, that's why. You know what I mean? I mean, you're no longer to be taken serious as a sports person if you're playing pickleball.
if you're playing it,
it's not a real sport.
It doesn't have to be a real
Leave
sport.
that for the old folks.
You play checkers.
Easy now.
It's
embarrassing.
I play checkers and it's not a sport. It's one thing to, I agree, it's not a real sport, but you can still play it.
Embarrassing. Leave that for
I play lots of games that aren't sports.
Well, a game is a game. I mean, if you're a sports personality and you're like, hey, we're going to go out and play, no, man, that's just, you are contributing to the stupidity of the sporting universe. If you go down there and play pickleball and you call yourself some sort of a sportscaster, shame on you. Shame on you. How dare you, sir? So no, I have no interest in A, spending time with those boneheads, B, playing pickleball ever in my life, C, hurrying up to do either. So no, thank you. By the way, who did get fired? Somebody had sent us a message saying, oh yeah, they fired some guys down the dial.
And
there
then,
were some layoffs
didn't
or something.
Tell us who.
You know who I hope it was.
I don't think I know anybody around enough to know. But
part of me wants it to be some certain people. The other part doesn't, because we're kicking their ass all the time. And it's kind of like you want to make sure Mike McCarthy keeps coaching the Cowboys. Just saying. Pull the Plug says smokers in high school were cool because they discovered Mary Jane. No. These guys, I mean, maybe they did when they were, it wasn't as prevalent back then. You know, maybe they did when they were like off in the woods somewhere or somebody's house, like, but nobody did that openly. Not really. Maybe occasionally one crazy guy did it at a party with an apple, but no, man, it wasn't like that back then. Randy's Chuckle says, if the Chinese invented bacon, why is there no bacon in the Chinese food? Why is there no bacon fried rice? Orange bacon sounds delicious. Instead, we get those little hard pieces of pork. They're like 9 days old. They save the bacon for themselves.
and also, you know, maybe you know the other animals just go better with rice. Who can say?
It's a good point. I don't know if I've ever had bacon and rice.
I know I haven't.
Sluzzman says, Jeffrey, we should start a list for you of sports that you are retired from, like wakeboarding, pickleball, etc. First off, wakeboarding, not a sport. Pickleball, not a sport. Plus, you should take Keon's advice and try to participate in these activities that you call not a sport. Why?
Well, I didn't say you had to. I'm just saying.
I have no interest.
Yeah.
I have no interest. I'll play tennis. I'll play real tennis, which is, you know, I mean, it's not that hard to play real tennis. So why are you making it easier and playing whatever the hell dumb pickleball is? Jonesy, I don't know. I have no idea. I can't even answer that because I'm asking people that. I don't know who got fired.
It's none of our beeswax who got fired.
Sure, Radio Ron's phone might be ringing.
Hey, those clowns you have on the afternoon show.
Yeah. It's like, listen, pal, we've already had the guy with the New York accent. Lacrosse
Hello.
guy says we called the smokers burnouts. Yeah, that's a shame because they were actually pretty cool. Bear Claw says, oh yeah, Bear Claw. I thought I responded to your email. Working on it. I just got to get down there and bring a stamp and an envelope. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so let's go to the next thing. Now, I know that in Keon Rose's college football dance party coming up here very shortly, of course you're going to talk about ASU. Of course you are. Why wouldn't you? It's a huge game. Huge.
And they're ranked in the top 25, which we try to get through as many of those games as we can usually.
Yeah. So, but I want to talk about it a little bit right now, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Because, I mean, this is a special time for ASU football. Now, I'm trying not to make too big a deal out of it. I just want them to beat you, Arizona. But it does feel like kind of a special year and an unexpected one, which means what the heck will next year be? Even specialer? I don't know. But, Kenny Dillingham has come in and done great work. This is the first time that, ASU is hosting a ranked team. This first time since like November of 2014. This is, and this has been the quickest turnaround year since 1996 for ASU. And, of course, Dillingham he's like, let's just pump the brakes here. We're trying not to get too cocky. We are feeling pretty confident, doing our best we can. But remember, we're 4 plays away from having 4 losses, and we're a couple of plays away from having 10 wins. So, he's got to focus on the work. It's just the nature of football here. So, he's got a good level-headed way of looking at it. But, this is, should I be getting so? I don't want to get too excited. I mean, we only have a couple games left until.
I'm not saying put the cart before the horse. Don't pencil in anything before it happens, right? Like let the team handle their business and you can react accordingly. But what the stakes are, that is exciting. They play BYU and they have the opportunity to control their own destiny to go to a Big 12 championship, which would be
if they
huge.
beat BYU, they go up in the rankings. And things have changed, haven't they?
Yeah, things will have changed. And with just 2 losses, if they're able to maintain that from now until the end of the season, which would include a Big 12 championship, by the way, you'd have to think of the playoffs. which is not something that at the beginning of this season anyone even dreamed about. I certainly did.
Yeah, they were ranked last. They were ranked to finish last in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Boy, was everybody wrong.
And by the way, they're playing ranked BYU. BYU was ranked to finish just ahead of them. So the 2 teams that everybody didn't believe in.
Fingers in the air and just don't care.
Yep.
Yeah, and Colorado was maybe a couple of the spots above them. And Colorado's doing really well as well. So
how did they get it so wrong?
Here's the thing. College football moves so much. They tried to predict this year with last year's information, last year's roster, last year's information about what kind of coach Kenny Dillingham was. He's clearly much more creative than he ever got credit for. People thought he was creative, but the things he can do now that Sam Levitt has proven himself as a quarterback is showing how much better and how much deeper his offenses can be.
Well, I tell you what, it's an exciting time. And like I said, I'm really focused on next week's game. But we'll see what happens this weekend against the Mormons. Sir Drives a Lot says dilly dilly. Damn right, dilly dilly. That guy is like, you're kind of looking at him, you're like, who's this young guy? He's kind of dorky. What's going on here? And you're like, wow, he's excited. Wow, okay. People like him. People are saying nice things about him. They're like, hey, what just happened? What, 8-2? What? Turns out he's a really good coach. I'll be damned. Matthew Lefty says Dillingham is going to be found at El Jefe on Mill, surrounded by Cougars if they beat the Cougars on Saturday. Bottle service on Kenny. Well, I don't know his personal life, but he's a made man in Tempe for sure if we beat BYU. Okay. Listen, Keon's going to have his full analysis of that game in the next hour during Keon Rose's college football dance party. And, we got a whole bunch of other stuff that we got to talk about too. So keep it right here. We are 1 hour down and 2 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-277-3355. That's 800-277-3355. 800-277-3355.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is paired right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. All right, 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. That is when the Sun Devils play. Hold on, what channel is it on? Oh, it's on ESPN.
ESPN, yeah.
Proper ESPN. They have taken notes.
That's a ranked matchup. You got to have it.
Yeah.
Googly moogly.
14 against 21. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, I hope it goes well. I mean, if we don't win, I just hope at least we play well. You know what I'm saying? Show up, you know?
Yeah. And I don't think that that's something you necessarily have to worry about is ASU just not showing up, because when you look at the games that they've played, they've competed in every game. Even the games that they lost, they were very competitive. Lost that game to Texas Tech. That was an 8-point loss in a game that was back and forth and really close. And then they lost to 10 in Cincinnati, had a couple of mistakes late in that game that cost them. But that was a game that felt very, very close, right up until the fourth quarter. So they've been competitive. This is not a team that, at least this season, has gotten blown out. So win or lose, the Sun Devils compete.
Well, I definitely going to find myself in front of a TV tomorrow afternoon. That's for sure. 888-368-1580. Do you realize what we are a month away from Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Gotta get on that Christmas shopping. Because this time of year everything is busy and a lot of people are like Amazon, and then it's like, well, if you wait too long to start ordering stuff, nothing will show up on time. And I saw this I wanted to get this, but I don't think I can even get it. KFC has launched a lickable wrapping paper.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it tastes like one of their chicken burgers, but it's not edible. So you can lick it, you don't eat it.
This is going to make me hungry.
Yeah, it's sold out though. Yeah, it's sold out.
I think that's okay. I don't know if
It's already sold out?
Yeah, and you can only get it in England. So you'd have to have somebody get it and send it to me.
What do you mean in England? Why would it be in England?
No idea. No idea.
Why would lickable wrapping paper from a company called Kentucky Fried Chicken be available in just England and not even Kentucky and nowhere else?
I'm not trying to be xenophobic, but I'll tell you what, this thing where the Japanese have these like way more American versions of food, like stuff that we're like, whoa, we'd like that. What the hell? And then England with the lickable wrapping. What the hell? What the hell? I don't know. I was a little aggravated by that, but I thought this would be perfect to wrap stuff for Randy.
Why me? I'm not a KFC guy.
You don't like KFC?
I mean, I didn't say I didn't like it. I'm just not a big KFC guy.
What if you smoked some wrapping paper?
Oh, hey.
Put it in the smoker.
Well,
make your own. We could sell
the
it.
Randy White
There it is.
philosophy.
Yeah, there it is.
So Randy, we could. I'm serious. We should get. You have to do it like a sheet at a time. You put it in there and you got to get it out before it catches fire. But just smoke it, and then it'll have this. Because I've noticed anytime I've dealt with a campfire, or I've been out doing certain things, you come in, my wife is like, "You smell like campfire in a good way," or like I've been grilling. If I've been grilling for a while, it's been smoking up some good stuff.
Oh yeah.
You smell good. So I'm just saying, what if we smoked some wrapping paper?
I think you could probably do that. You get some wrapping paper and you put it on the smoker, and maybe 100 degrees. Just let it sit in there for, a little bit, and then you roll it up and sell that sucker for $50 a whack.
But you gotta open it up though. Because if you just stick the roll in there,
you have to open it up.
You got to do it like a sheet at a time. We have to sell it like in sheets.
Oh, in sheets, even better. Yeah, I like that.
There's money to be made here, man.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Anyways, so I just want to remind everybody listening, as I do on the first of each month, pay your rent. I'm going to give you the 1 month and a couple of days notice. Don't forget Christmas. It's coming. It's coming. I both enjoy and get stressed out about it. Trying to find perfect gifts for people, and it's like then you're stressed. Oh God, I hope it gets here in time. And then the other part though, it is kind of fun. I do enjoy gift giving, but there's a good amount of stress and consternation that comes with it.
See, Miss Kim and I, we don't wait till Christmas Day to open our gifts to each other.
Really?
No, I make it a celebration, like the week of Christmas, maybe on the 23rd. I'll start giving her, gifts because I just can't wait any longer. And then Christmas morning,
12 days of Christmas.
Yeah, then Christmas morning, then we just get up leisurely and we get the coffee on and have a nice leisurely morning.
Cool. That's nice. But can I tell everybody listening that I can't take you seriously if you're one of these people who says, it's my birthday month? You're not a grown-up. I can't take you seriously if you're going to have a birthday month. You're not that important. I'm sorry. Somebody needed to tell you. I'm not that important. You're not that important. You get a birthday. That's all we get. One day out of 365 in our miserable existence, and you're not more important than Randy. You're not more important than Keon. You're definitely not more important than me. You get a day. Stop it with the birthday month. Of course, Latino Leprechaun, it's my birthday month.
I had an ex that was like that. It's just like, look, you can call it your birthday month if you want. I don't have the money for a birthday month.
Mhm.
I have the money for a birthday.
Mhm.
That's all that's all I can afford. You want better than that? Got bad news for you.
You get one card, you get one gift, you get one STFU.
If somebody is doing that, what you do is you buy a package of gum. It's got like 30
A big
sticks.
pack, yeah, a big
there
pack.
you go.
Yeah.
A 30 sticker. And there you go. Happy birthday month to you. There's your present.
Just hand them one stick every day.
That's not too bad.
Happy
If somebody
birthday.
gave me a stick of gum every day of October, I'd be like, all right, I'll take it.
That's very thoughtful of you.
I never expected a birthday month.
There you go. There you go.
Kyle G says, not my birthday month. It's my birthday today, though. Great excuse to leave work early.
Absolutely.
Why are you even there?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone.
Good for you, Kyle G. Happy birthday, my friend.
Mhm.
If that were an
Mhm.
option, obviously.
Happy birthday.
Sir Drives a Lot says, you get one birthday. Mine was 40 something years ago.
That was my dad's opinion on it. Like my dad didn't even want to celebrate birthdays. He did it because my mom made him. So when I was a kid, I didn't really have like a birthday party often. And that was rare. Anytime my parents were like, oh, birthday party. First off, I knew my mom won an argument. Second off,
that's always good.
Gifts weren't even wrapped. Like my dad was just like, just give it to
Here.
him. Whatever. Yeah.
Why are we wasting money on wrapping
Yeah.
paper?
He just was not
But
interested.
he would not be in the KFC wrapping paper
No.
at all.
Mm-mm.
Got it.
It's a waste.
Well, I'm not as curmudgeon-y as that, but I'm just stop with a month. I'll get you a cake. I'll get you some candles. Give you some gifts. They'll be wrapped in paper, or at least put in a bag hastily. You know, that's the man's new version of wrapping.
I like
Yeah.
the bag because you
Yeah.
can put it in the bag and then
Mhm.
get the fancy paper. And if you just, it looks like you tried.
Yeah.
It looks like you tried really hard and you didn't at all.
Nope. I am bad at wrapping. That's the other thing that I don't like about Christmas is I got
Oh,
to
I
sit
don't-
here and wrap things.
I don't know. I've gotten gifts from you. You wrap pretty good.
My wife does.
Oh.
When I want it to look good, I'm like, honey, I don't know why I end up with all this extra paper. If you get a present that was wrapped by me, underneath there's like it's a mound of like wadded up paper just taped up to the bottom of the package. If you put it on a table, it's going to go. It's not going to sit level.
I discovered those bags in high school. I haven't wrapped a present in 15 years.
That's the way to go, man. That is the way to go.
Hasn't happened.
Latina Leprechaun says, I don't expect anything, but my birthday is coming up on the 28th, which coincidentally is Thanksgiving this year. No rest for me. I'll be slaving over a hot stove and oven to make a nice Thanksgiving meal for my husband and kids. Well, I'm glad you don't expect anything because you ain't getting anything from us. I mean, not like
I mean, yeah, just
you got a husband and kids for that.
Yeah, hopefully you expect something from them.
Give you a happy birthday.
There it is.
We'll give you a happy birthday. If we had some giveaway, you know what? There is a giveaway. Well, I'll tell you what. When that race car Fuel Fest giveaway comes, if you want to go look at cars and see some cool stuff, I will set aside a pair of tickets just for you, Latina Leprechaun. You and your husband can go and have some fun. How's that? That'll be a birthday present. I'm not paying for nothing. We're just giving them away. So, I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound rude, but I mean,
yeah.
If I got to give you a birthday present, I got to give everybody a birthday present. And contrary to popular belief, there's a lot of people listening.
Oh, yeah.
Killer Rabbit says, I have the birthday minute. I know what time I was born on my date. I do a shot at that time on that day every year. Oh, yeah. That sounds
kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah. Mine was 10 a.m. So I don't think that's probably, or was it 7:30 in the morning? It was in the morning. That's all I know. You know, I don't see a problem with that. I'll have a shot. Killer Rabbit, what time were you born, man? Just a tip says 8 years of birthday months means you've added about 240 years to your life. No, I'm aging fast enough. That was not really how the math worked, but okay. Skosh says, public service announcement. State Route 85 southbound is closed in the West Valley. Okay, Skosh is Big George. Skosh is Big George.
It's got to be. It has to.
No one else does this.
Nobody else does this.
And the fact that you'd have a texter from Nova Scotia.
You wouldn't give a damn about our yeah. Okay, Scotia is Big George. Come on, George, stop making up people. You are enough as you are. You don't have to create fake people. We have tons of other people listening. We got plenty of text to read. We don't need fake people.
What are you, Lupin? Like, what is going on?
And it doesn't take us long to figure that out. Jonesy says, Kenny Dillingham's a hell of a coach. Regardless of Saturdays, y'all should not have a hard time against the Wildcats, which sucks because I feel like the past 5 years or so, the game haven't been close at all for either side. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we went from 70-7 to where'd Herm go? Oh, crap, damn it. Moist One says, how about a KFC dental dam? So your mouth always tastes like KFC.
That sounds awful.
Everything you're eating.
Yeah.
It's a banana, but it tastes like. Well, actually, that's not bad. Hefty Lefty says, my dog and toddler beg to differ that the paper is not edible. All wrapping paper is edible to them.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true. Can't argue with that. We have a few minutes to spare, and I don't feel like getting. I feel like I don't getting into too much too deep, but figure we'll talk about more sports stuff after Keon Rose's college football dance party coming up. Last week I was late, so this week I want to make sure I get it on time. But here's something I had in the man talk, and it gives you something to think about. So Keon, I'll ask you first. What is your top guy cry movie? You know, the movie that tugs at the heartstrings, make a tear come into your eye. For guys.
I don't know. I have to think about that.
Randy, how about you?
Brian's Song.
Yeah, it's not even the ringer.com did a list. And that's not even on here. But for
That's too bad.
people our age or older, yeah, Brian's Song would be that'd be a good that'd be a good one, Randy.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That does that's
Yeah.
For me, it's nothing. I don't cry at movies because I'm a man. Sorry, the rest of you aren't, but I'm a man.
Shame. Yeah.
The list, though, gets a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, you're right. If there's going to be something, I've had a tug at the old heartstrings where I'm like, but I'm dead inside, so I do not actually cry. But yeah, absolutely, Field of Dreams. That catch Dad.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Brian's Song. How can you watch that and not be like, God, I wish this scene was over?
Yeah, no. That was one of the first movies you guys recommended to me when I moved out here.
Field of Dreams didn't
emotionally devastated.
Field of Dreams, I think it's a great movie and everything, but it emotionally didn't tug at my heartstrings.
A lot of these movies will hit people differently. Oh, Moist One. Oh, you're right. Big Fish got me, says Moist One. You're damn straight. That's one that if you don't feel something in the feels watching the end of Big Fish, you are. I'm kind of dead inside, but I'm not that dead inside.
I haven't seen it.
But I don't cry. I just don't. It's not. I'm not even trying to be overtly manly. This doesn't happen for me. Okay, so I mean, the last time I did is because a dog died. All bets are off. All safety's gone when that happens.
When you lose a dog, I mean,
where the red fern grows.
That's where they shoot the dog, right? No, that's Old Yeller.
That's Old Yeller.
No, when I was a kid,
red fern grows. What happened?
Old Yeller got me.
Who gives a crap about a houseplant?
No, it's the dog was
again.
Yeah.
What happens to the dog?
Well, when the dog dies, then a red fern started growing.
That's gross.
In that spot.
And then the other dogs go over and whiz on it. That's even worse.
Well, okay.
No, all the dogs in the neighborhood respected. They were all like, respect, man.
They would go out. So they go out and pour out a 40, just a little something for the soldier. All right. Yeah. The list is bad, though. The ringer.com list. Listen to this. The #1 top guy cry movie Furious 7 from 2015, where they said goodbye to Paul Walker's character after he died.
I watched that movie in theaters. Nothing happened to me. That's
okay.
And I'm not like you. Many movies will move me
Not
emotionally.
like you.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, because Jeffrey's like, I don't
inside.
Jeffrey's like, I don't cry in movies. Like, I'll cry in a movie. That if you tell that story right, if it hits, it hits.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched Furious 7.
Number 2.
It's corny.
Should not have made anyone cry, but yet it's number 2. Armageddon.
What?
I think the Bruce Willis guy dies in that, or
Does he?
something.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. 1998. Interstellar. Well, because he's sad about his daughter.
Yeah,
But
and
then-
missing her entire childhood.
This is where you throw away the entire list. Click from 2006.
Oh, stop it! Stop it! That's dumb. This is a dumb list. This is a very stupid list.
And then after that, I'll just rattle them off. Good Will Hunting, Braveheart, Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, Frequency, The Iron Giant. I've seen that movie.
The Iron Giant, yes, but when I was a kid.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day. No, you mean when he's like melting and his thumb comes up? He's like, come on, man. Boys in the Hood.
Okay.
Is that a guy cry movie?
I mean,
I never saw
there
it.
are moments in it that are just like, oh no.
It's a little heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moist One says, I'll admit it, when I first watched Click, it got me. Really?
Really?
Huh.
I mean, I understand like he kind of fast forwarded through his whole life. And then by the time he realized like, oh, I should be living it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
It was like the 2006 version of that Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon. Oh, Dad.
But just
Dad.
all of the other gags in that movie make it so that when that moment happens, I just
How about Saving Private Ryan, or from Moist One, Shaving Ryan's Privates? I don't. That was a touching one, but I don't feel like that was a crier.
Yeah,
E.T. the extra testicle. I mean terrestrial. That
wasn't a cry movie.
I Am Legend. I saw that. That wasn't cry.
I mean,
Logan.
there was the scene with the dog.
Yeah, he had to kill his dog. He had to kill his dog.
Oh, I thought it was when he ran out of bacon. That was like I
mean, well, now that'll bring a tear to anybody's eye.
Mm.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah, that's rough right there.
And then it goes Warrior, Iron Claw, Gladiator. Oh, stop it.
Gladiator. I don't know. And Warrior was like good, but it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't like a cry movie.
This list is boo boo.
It's a bad list. First off, Furious 7 just discredits everything else on the list. To be honest, that's not the Paul Walker scene where they kind of CGI him in so they could say
badly
goodbye.
done too.
Yeah,
it's 2015.
Yeah, it's like his right eye is higher than his left eye. You're just like, stop. Just make all of this stop.
So yeah, Bear Claw, where was Rudy in this? I mean, that's not one that would get me, but I mean that had a little more real emotion. Elzar of the Mountain, yeah, Forrest Gump. When the woman he loves gave him a baby and probably AIDS too. Moist One is now just putting up his version of movies. Foreskin Gump, Glad He Ate Her.
Moist One. Come on, man.
It's gonna be all day, isn't it?
It's gonna. Yeah,
it is a Friday.
Sir Drives a Lot says that I'm like, I'm a man. I'm 40. I don't cry. I don't cry.
Okay, Coach.
It's easier for some people than others, man.
Number one Rattler fan says, where the red fern grows, little Ann, the dog, couldn't live without her brother, Old Dan. Another great emotional guy movie. I don't know.
I never saw it, so
I don't remember.
Can't say either way.
Kyle G says, yeah, there's a few spots in Forrest Gump that get me misty. Also, Sam's speech in Lord of the Rings gets close too.
I mean,
there were a couple, right?
No,
they weren't, but
it seemed like a couple.
They might as well have been.
Yeah, I think they're
yeah,
well, at least from Sam's.
But I like I don't know. I like Sam. That was it moved me. I don't know if it made me cry though.
All dogs go to heaven, says Moist One.
That's another one where when I was a kid, I lost it.
Sweet Jesus and Mary Chain, George. Says the movie that does it for me is The Notebook. Man Card, Revocation.
I'm pretty sure we said guy cry movies.
Revocation, you Hallmark Christmas show watching some bitch.
Could obviously qualify as a cry movie, but
just ruined it for everybody right there.
The Notebook. Huh.
Wow. By the way, talk about the biggest, worst piece of BS propaganda ever created, and it's made it harder for us men for 20 goddamn years. We're not going to build you a house after you break up with us. We're going to move on, or we're going to date your sister. Okay? We're not going to build you a goddamn house. Stop acting like that's the only way. Oh, you're not a good guy. Look at that guy. Ryan Gosling built her a house. Shut up. We're not
now the time to point out that real life Ryan Gosling hasn't purchased anyone a house, much less built one.
Mm-hmm. That movie just made life a lot harder for men because then we are judged romantically by that garbage. That infuriates me. Quiet Cannon says, he says, Big George, try to pull a fast one on you, Jeffrey. Just goes to show you. He says he's showing us his dual personality. Huh?
No, he's been pretty on brand about the Hallmark stuff. That he's Big George will watch a sappy movie.
Just the tip says guy cry movie. It's like asking my girlfriend to go watch Rambo and have her punch me in the face. Don't let her hear this.
I was about to say, like, you talk to the right woman, she'll do it.
We were running so late. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that before we did Keon Rose's college football dance party. So let's take a break. We'll be back and put your dancing shoes on. We're going to find out what Keon thinks about all the college matchups that matter this weekend. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-3128. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-3128. That's 800-575-3128. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
Hey, sports fans, this is Dylan Cohen.
And I'm Keon Rose, and we're bringing you Beat the Book every weekday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon.
So if you want the latest betting picks, advice, and analysis that's sharp as a knife,
or at least sharper than Dylan's last pick on the Cardinals.
Oh, you've got jokes, huh? Well, maybe you're feeling bold now that your Commanders actually look decent this season.
Hey, even a broken clock's right twice a day, right?
Well, tune in to Beat the Book with us, Dylan Cohen and Keon Rose, every weekday from 2 to 3 on 1580 The Fanatic.
Brought to you by Sport Trade, the newest sports book in Arizona.
Monday night means football on the Fanatic.
Mr. Jackson and the Ravens are in Hollywood to take on the Chargers. Will it be an offensive show for the Baltimore Ravens, or will the Los Angeles Chargers flex their defensive strength? Ravens at Chargers. Monday Night Football live.
Your home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Hamilton Porter says, say what you want about Ryan Gosling, but he was an absolute liability at cornerback. And remember the Titans. Not wrong.
He was.
Was that him?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't remember that at all.
Right. That's
He
right.
was a liability. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But right now, we got to get our dancing shoes on. It's time to find out what's going on in the world of college football this weekend. Yes, it's time for Keon Rose's college football dance party.
Yeah, we're going to be dancing to some new people in the top 25, namely UNLV is in the top 25. Where the Running Rebels come from, they're taking on San Jose State, and that's tonight here at 10 o'clock tonight on FS1. Keon, let's start it off there. UNLV versus San Jose State. Always a good game.
Always a good game, and this one shouldn't be any different. I think this one's going to actually be kind of a low-scoring game, a really close one. I think UNLV is still playing for an opportunity to compete in the Mountain West Championship, and I think that gives them some reason to go out there and try to dominate this game, but also understand that San Jose State does have a pretty good defense. So, like, you're not going to be able to just light up the scoreboard on them. I think UNLV sticks to what they do best. You know, in the Mountain West, Boise State has the best running game, second best running game in the entire conference. Well, that's UNLV. I think UNLV sticks to what they do. They run the football incredibly well. I think they control the game that way, and ultimately try to take the safe path to a victory here over San Jose State. They're not in control of their own destiny, but a win tonight would go a long way to giving them a crack at playing in the championship.
All right, let's start talking about games that could be upsets. Number 13, the SMU, SMU, will be visiting Virginia. David A. Harrison, the third field at Scott Stadium. And that's happening tomorrow at high noon on ESPN2. Tell us about that matchup.
Yeah, I think that this very well could be an upset. I will still take SMU. I think they're on a mission. I think that, you know, they've already got their seat at the table as far as being able to compete in that ACC championship, which feels weird to say about SMU, but here we are, and they are giving themselves that chance. They've played really well this year. They've beaten just everybody that's been put in front of them for the most part. They're going to have a little bit of pushback though from Virginia. Virginia being coached by Tony Elliott, former offensive coordinator of Dabo Swinney over at Clemson, and I think that a lot of people are pretty excited about where Virginia is. I think they're ahead of schedule for what that program is trying to build, and they feel very good and they feel very confident, but I don't know if they have necessarily enough to compete with SMU and what that offense does. I mean, they are spread you out, launch the ball down the field, and make you beat them play after play. I don't know if Virginia has the defense to handle that.
Remember when Lane Kiffin was head coach at USC, got fired and left on the tarmac? Well, he's taken the number 9 Ole Miss Running Rebels, and he's heading for Florida to take on the Gators. I think this could be another upset game. What say you, Keon Rose?
It could be an upset game. I mean, Florida, especially as of late, has looked pretty good. And anytime you go and you have to face the Gators in the swamp, that's not necessarily going to work out for you. Florida handled LSU last week. It is a disappointing LSU team, and they did get stomped by Texas the week before. But whenever they play competition that's kind of at around their level, they've been able to hang around, which is where the Ole Miss question comes in. How legitimate are the Ole Miss Rebels, because they've had their share of disappointing losses over the course of the season. Just a couple, really, but Kentucky and LSU, who Florida just beat, being the two losses there. And I don't think that Ole Miss can afford to have another loss. they've got a chance at playing in the SEC title game if they handle their business here. I think Lane Kiffin keeps his guys on task, and I still think that Florida, they're figuring things out. When they play that high level competition, they do still struggle, and I see Ole Miss as that.
Another game that it could be an upset when two top 10 teams join up at Ohio Stadium. When number 5, the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers take on number 2, Ohio State Buckeyes. I still don't believe in Ohio State, even though they're ranked number 2. I think that's just based on, past resumes and, maybe a couple of wins this season. But Indiana seems to be for real. We're going to find out this weekend at high noon on Fox. What say you, Keon Rose?
Yeah, I mean, Indiana does seem to be the real deal. Now, the issue that I have with Indiana, of course, is when you look at their schedule and you look at who they've played, they haven't played the strongest competition either. I think they have the same problem that Ohio State has. However, when they have played this competition, they have put it on them. I mean, really have given them the business. So do I think that Indiana has what it takes to take down the Buckeyes this week? I do. And I will be taking them to do that. I just like the way that Indiana plays. They play with this sense of urgency. They don't wait for things to come to them. I think the Buckeyes are a little bit methodical, a little bit slower. And one of these days, it's going to clip them up. And this might be the biggest chance for that to happen. I'll take the Hoosiers.
All right. Another game that could be an upset game when number 4 Penn State pays a visit to the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They're at Huntington Bank Stadium. It's a 3:30 CBS game. What do you think, Keon? Penn State come out of there alive, or does the Golden Gophers put one on them?
Penn State, I don't really trust them either. I think that Penn State has their own issues with being inconsistent that hasn't necessarily caught up to them on the football field at 9-1, but their one loss being to Ohio State, who we were just talking about. They played a sloppy game against Ohio State and they were able to right the ship. But when you go and play Minnesota has in the past had some pretty dynamic offenses. This offense wants to play defense and run the football. And PJ Fleck and company, they're going to row the boat. They're going to row the boat very slowly and try to make this a 1 or 2 possession football game late by burning a lot of clock and moving the chains. And if Drew Aller shows up and has some of the performances that he's had this year where it's just ugly, he isn't on target, he's making mistakes, that puts Penn State in a really tough spot. And honestly, I think that the Golden Gophers are set up here to clip Penn State too.
In years past, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish always seemed to put a butt whooping on the Army Academy, the United States Army Academy. And this year, the Army Academy is ranked number 19 in the country, and they pay a visit to Yankee Stadium, a neutral site. Notre Dame always travels well. We know that. But can number 19 ranked Army take down a number 6 Notre Dame team?
I give them that opportunity anytime they play the way that they've been playing this year. Obviously, they're 9-0. They haven't lost a football game yet. But I think it's safe to say that this is the toughest test that they've faced so far this year. And I think that when you have to figure out how to slow down what Notre Dame is doing, especially when you look at what Notre Dame does in the pass game, they've got a pretty balanced attack, but they average about 200 yards a game. It could potentially be more. And if Army were to fall behind, that's the issue that I have. They don't really throw the football. They don't even crack 90 yards a game. So that's the problem that I'm having with Army is if they fall behind Notre Dame, I don't see any way for them to catch up and get back into the football game. So I think that Notre Dame comes out swinging. They try to get on the board first, score early and often, and then hold Army at distance till the end of the game. I'm going to take the Fighting Irish.
All right. So another possible upset game. I love it. It's late in the season, and we're getting all these great, sort of pseudo rivalry games. Number 15, Texas A&M travels to Jordan-Hare Stadium and will take on the Auburn Tigers. Does Auburn have a chance to upset Texas A&M?
They do, because that's a tough place to play. I've gotten the opportunity to be at Jordan-Hare Stadium. It's loud. It's loud. And it doesn't matter what the record is for the Auburn Tigers. Like they want to show up and make some noise and make you deeply uncomfortable being there. I think that when it comes to Texas A&M, though, I just think that they're coached so well. They have not been making the same mistakes that they've made in the past. You know, having Mike Elko there at head coach has really solidified things for them, and they've also kind of landed on a quarterback finally. Texas A&M has been playing really good football as of late. It hurts me to say it, but I don't think that Texas A&M is going to fall to Auburn at Jordan-Hare.
All right, another potential upset game. You thought I was kidding when we opened this folder, but number 7 Alabama on the road take on the Sooners of Oklahoma. Who do you have in this matchup?
Well, it certainly depends on the version of Jalen Milroe we get, because we get the version of Jalen Milroe that is slinging the ball all over the yard and looks like somebody who can't be tackled. Then Auburn wins, no problem. But I don't think that that's the version we're going to get, because he's just so up and down. And this Oklahoma defense, for whatever that's worth, those guys go out there and compete. They don't necessarily have the talent to stop some of these high-level teams. But as far as we show up and we bust our ass and we're here to play hard, regardless of whatever it is that you do, yeah, this Oklahoma team has that in spades. But I just think that Alabama at 8-2, they want to keep those playoff hopes alive. I think the pressure is on. They don't necessarily control their own destiny to an SEC championship for the first time in God knows how long. And I think that Kalen DeBoer keeps them on track and gets them another W as they continue to move forward.
All right, and the game of the week, as far as we're concerned, live from Mountain America Stadium, when the 21st ranked Arizona State Sun Devils take on the number 14 ranked BYU, which BYU showed that they are gettable. This is a road game for BYU, the Cougs, and they're traveling here to Arizona, where it's loud in its own right at Sun Devil Stadium. I don't care that they call it a Mountain America Stadium. It's Sun Devil Stadium to me. So break it down for us. Sun Devils welcome in BYU. Is it going to be a pleasant welcome, or is it going to be a horrendous welcome?
It's going to be a horrendous welcome for them. Yeah, I think that BYU is going to show up in this football game and compete. I don't want to make this sound like BYU is cooked or BYU's got no chance to win this game. They certainly do. They're a very good football team. They are ranked where they are for a reason. However, they've got a solid run defense, and I think you need to do better than a solid run defense to slow down Cameron Scadaboo and what ASU's got going on. Like the ASU's rushing attack is one of the best in the country, and they're not just a running team. Once Cam Scadaboo establishes the run, it feels like it's over, because the Sam Levitt, Jordan Tyson connection starts to get going after that, and they haven't been figured out quite yet. The more that they play together, the more that you see that chemistry grow throughout the year. Sam Levitt trusts Jordan to the point where even if Jordan doesn't separate from a defensive back, he throws it up there because he knows Jordan's going to go up there and get it. I really, really like ASU in this spot, it being a home game. If maybe if they were going to BYU and playing there, then maybe I could lean that particular direction. But at home in Tempe, I like ASU. I think they are dialed in. I think they know how big this game is. You win this game, you essentially punch your ticket to the Big 12 championship and give yourself a chance to do something that nobody thought you could do.
And you prove all the talking heads on TV wrong. All right, so that's it for this week's edition of Keon Rose's college football dance party. Jeff Combs, and he's got the Sun Devils winning.
Hooray!
Yeah. So there you
now,
go.
now I'm nervous.
Now
I'm
nervous?
worried.
Why are you
Well,
nervous?
Keon says, "Hey, they're gonna win." And everybody's feeling good about it. I'm like,
I like them in the game. I just like the position that they're in. I like the way that they run the football, and I just think that BYU is not particularly built the way some of these other teams that have actually stopped the Sun Devils. I don't think they're built like those teams are.
Are a lot of the players like 2 years older because they went on their Mormon missions first?
I don't think so. At least not all of them. There's got to be somebody on the roster that maybe did, but I don't think that some of the stars on that team are per se.
I think Jeffrey and I are the typical Arizona sports fan. We like to reserve until after the game is over. We don't like to talk too much. We want to see how it works out because how many times have we, we got into that mode of, oh, we're going to win. This is something special is happening.
And it
whammo.
is. But that's why I wanted to give BYU and what they do some credit too. Like this is not a pushover team. You are going to have to go out there and take this football game because BYU doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes.
Right.
And like their coach Kalani Sitake, he's done a good job turning that program around. He deserves a lot of credit as well. He didn't do it as fast, but what he has built there at BYU is impressive.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back, get caught up on the text line, and we got a bunch of NFL football to talk about. It's the Daily Blender. You're on 1580, The Fanatic.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Come on in to Total Wine and More. Prices much lower than a grocery store. Spirits, wine, beer for a whole lot less. Walking down the aisles makes you stop and say, yes. From mixing cocktails, a friendly get-together, or a brunch outdoors, Total Wine has everything you need and more. With the lowest prices and best selection for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Direct savings and client focus, the cornerstones of the Diamond Dave philosophy.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave Cantor. My team and I at Desert Wholesale Diamond can be your trusted friends with an inside scoop on the diamond world.
Just like they are to thousands of people around the world.
And just like we have been for over 34 years.
At Diamond Dave's, it's all about the diamonds and the savings, not paying for high-end retail locations or the overhead of a mall.
You stand to save big time with our by appointment professional office approach combined with direct importing.
When you choose Diamond Dave's, you choose huge savings, top quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Now you can be the guy that eventually gets bits and pieces of the latest news.
Or you can get the whole story when it breaks.
The NFL is always in season here.
That's how we do it.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter. Or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Let's get caught up here on the text line. Navy Brad says, welcome back, Randy.
Thanks. Glad to be back.
Killer Rabbit says, since my mighty Jayhawks beat BYU, ASU will crush them. No, it was Kansas, not Kansas State, right?
Kansas is the Jayhawks.
No.
Kansas State is the Wildcats.
ASU beat the Kansas State.
Yeah.
They didn't beat Kansas.
They also beat Kansas.
Oh, did they?
They also,
They played Kansas earlier in the year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that okay.
Yeah,
I'm not
ASU's
saying
been
anything.
rolling, man.
Not saying anything. Keeping it to myself.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says, anyone else get fully torqued after seeing the uniforms Army and Navy previewed for the Army v Navy game? 101st Airborne versus the Jolly Roger for 2024.
Oh, I like the Jolly Roger.
Got to look that up. I haven't seen them. Haven't seen that. I think we got the Army Navy game on our station, by the way. You won't be able to see the, uniforms and stuff. But yes, on Saturday, December 14th, we will have the Army Navy game here on the radio station, as long as it doesn't conflict with the GCU basketball game, which is also on that same day. Tonight we have GCU at 6:45, by the way. Hopefully they'll get back to their winning ways. But the Army Navy game, that's always fun. Coom says, I freaking told you that the Steelers would fumble the ball. Yeah, y'all better start specting my picks. He did. At 4:05 p.m., he says they're going to fumble the bag. He probably meant ball. And lose to the Browns. Browns defense going to outscore the offense.
I
don't think that happened.
That part didn't necessarily happen, but still, I remember saying yesterday, I think the Browns could make that interesting. I did not shoot that down. I thought the Browns had every bit of right to be in that game because of just AFC North rivalry games are weird. And when you add the weird weather, that just seemed like a recipe for something.
I knew this was coming.
Oh boy.
Moist one says, I sent you a trade request. Well, first off, the trade deadline, I believe, was yesterday. I think I'm correct on that. Yes. Trade deadline was yesterday. And second, I'm going to guess you're trying to trade me Brock Purdy. Is that what you're trying to do? Because
his stock has never been lower. You're not supposed to sell low.
Oh, wait a minute. He says no. He says, I sent Randy a trade request. Was that yesterday? When's the trade deadline? Somebody was on me in another league saying, hey, could you approve this? Because the trade deadline is today. So maybe it's tonight. Maybe it's actually tonight. Find that trade and let us know, how Moist one is trying to do dirty over there.
I'm logging in now. So just continue on and I'll let you know what I think of it.
Harry Soap says, movies that made me cry. Hachi, a dog's tale. Okay, I can see how that one would tug at the heartstrings. Based on the true story of a dog who went with his master every day to see him off to work in the morning, till master, Richard Gere, dies of not what you think. It's a heart attack. It's Richard Gere. It's other ways to die if you're Richard Gere. Dog waited at the station for years for his owner to come home. What a dumb dog.
Wow.
I mean,
he's loyal.
They told him he died. Hey, he died.
They forgot to tell him dog. That's not his fault.
Well, dumb dogs should learn English. My dog knows English. My dogs both know there's a bunch of words in English they know for sure. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I work at the kitchen table. That's actually where I do my work. My wife's got a great office. It's all fancy and stuff. Me, I just sit down with my laptop at the kitchen table and I play with the dogs. I do my thing. I take care of business there. And by the way, Bebo is evil. He falls asleep right next to me faithfully and farts the entire time.
He is evil.
So then last night I go in there. He sleeps in my closet room, and then across the little hall, that's where Buddy sleeps, in the other closet room. And because we have a couple of walk-in closets right off of this little hallway. So I walk in there. My wife is downstairs. So I'm like, hey, Bebo. And I ripped the longest Olympics just fart. And he's looking at me and his eyes are just getting bigger and bigger. And I'm like, and that's what you get. And all of a sudden I hear my wife start laughing behind me. I'm like, I didn't know you were there. She's like, you started that fart when I was at the bottom stair. It was, she was even like, wow. I'm like, I am so sorry. I wouldn't have done that on purpose if I knew you were there. But part of me was proud because it was a majestic rippage. And so I was just like, that's what you get, Bebo, for always sitting there farting next to me there. But yeah, that was, I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, I think she was a little proud of her husband right there. I think she was a little bit proud. Moist one says, "Oh, the trade deadline was yesterday, but for some reason, it still let me send."
Yeah, we're not doing this. He wants to trade me T.J. Hawkinson for Geno Smith.
T.J. Hawkinson for I thought he was going to try to unload Brock Purdy now that he's probably out for the year.
But that's the time that you wouldn't trade him or can't, I guess.
By the way, it is looking like, that Brock Purdy's injury is even worse than they had originally implied.
Mm-hmm.
Last year it was an elbow, right? The year before, what was it? Remember, it like they broke his elbow when he was trying to play in the playoff game. So this time it's a shoulder.
It's his throwing shoulder.
Well, and better luck next year, 49er fans. Because that's pretty much the end of it, right? I mean,
I don't know.
You got Christian McCaffrey, but I don't think that he can carry the entire team.
Not without the quarterback making good decisions with the football. I mean, as much as they're a running football team, Brock Purdy and the decisions he makes, that's built into the offense. If he doesn't make good decisions, the Niners are kind of stuck there. And if Purdy doesn't go, boy, you're looking at Brandon Allen at quarterback or Josh Dobbs. Dobbs is smart, makes good decisions, but doesn't have the arm. And Brandon Allen is Brandon Allen.
I'd probably throw up 7 or 8 times before, during, after. Daniel Jones there. Pinisher says the elbow for Purdy was against the Eagles in the NFC Championship. Yeah, I thought it was a championship game, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Killer Rabbit says movies that make me cry. Dolly Parton's Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Why would they close it? Why? Thanks, Killer Rabbit.
Wow.
We're kind of done with that. The list was horrible. And anyway, what was he doing? I don't know. I guess we talk NFL. Oh, hey, remember DJ Humphries?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He was cut as he was dealing with his injuries. Well, now he's recovering from that torn ACL, but now he's been medically cleared to return and play. And so who came and picked him up? Was it your friends, the Cardinals? Pull up the car. Get in, man. Let's go. Nope. It's the Chiefs. DL Humphries is signing with the Chiefs for a little depth, little Patrick Mahomes protection. Well, that's disappointing.
Yep.
You kind of wanted him back, didn't you?
It would have been nice, some depth on the offensive line. Listen, he was a great offensive lineman for us, but apparently Monty Osenfort and the Cardinals feel like they have what they need. So DJ Humphries apparently is just a victim of moving on. So fine, I'll just go to the Chiefs and get a Super Bowl ring.
Well, you know what? Good for DJ Humphries. I'm sure that when the phone call came through, he had to be a little excited, after getting shelved and, released. So anyway, hey, back to Daniel Jones. So I've got some of the financial numbers here. So he made $35.5 million this year. That's how much money he made. And when I say made, he'll continue to make. They're going to pay him $2 million a week for the rest of the season, and that will total up to $35.5 million he made this year. And so that is where the money is on Daniel Jones. Of course, it's funny now. Malik Neighbors comes out and he's like, "Hey, listen, Tommy DeVito, I can establish a chemistry with anyone." Really? So that basically is Malik Neighbors saying, "Just throw me the ball. Just throw me the ball.
Just throw me the ball."
Throw
and
me the
also, I'll establish chemistry with whoever we draft next year.
Yeah, I think, probably more right on that one. Well, they are in good draft position now, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they fired the guy who they fired their GM, right? Or is Schoen still in there?
Yeah, Schoen's still in there.
Oof, they got to fire that guy. They got to fire him.
I think they should keep him.
Oh, yeah, I know you think that. And
Yeah,
me not caring about the Giants. Okay, you're right.
The Giants would have the third pick in the draft this year.
Oh, I just figured out what Jason Kelsey's hobby is. They've just revealed that they're having another daughter. Yeah, they're having another baby. So,
If you got the time and money. Yeah.
Hour 3 is next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-488-2594. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-488-2594. That's 800-488-2594. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Nothing can prepare you for the epic return of Yellowstone. Sundays at 8, only on Paramount Network. And Philo's here to take you on the ultimate journey back to the Dutton Ranch. That's right, because Philo's the most affordable way to watch new episodes of Yellowstone live. If that's not enough, Philo's also got a whole world of entertainment under one roof, bringing you the best way to watch over 70 top-rated channels, including Paramount Network, AMC, Discovery, History Channel, and more. All for just $28 a month. With Philo, you can watch TV and on-demand TV anytime, anywhere, on up to 3 devices at once. So if your family's anything like the Duttons, you've got one less thing to fight about. You can also save the shows you love, like Yellowstone, and watch them for up to a year. So what are you waiting for? Start your free trial today by going to philo.tv. That's PHILO.tv to start saving more on the TV you just can't afford to miss. And don't miss the epic return of Yellowstone Sundays at 8, only on Paramount Network.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's UPORTE.com.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. You know, we're going to talk about Thursday Night Football. Hey, it was cool. It snowed and everything. And I tell you, it's just like everybody kind of goes into a different headspace when you're outside watching a game and it snows, and everything just kind of feels different. And it almost, like one of them post-apocalyptic sort of situation. By the way, why is every show these days the dystopian future? Why is it always the end of the damn world? And why is it at the end of the world, you got a pet? Oh, look, they got some food over there. Oh, look, they got some fire. Oh, look, there's like a little shanty. Nobody can wash their faces. Why is everybody's face dirty in the at the end? You just do a little of that.
Even though a lot of the women in these shows look like they have on makeup and then dirt on top of the makeup, which is
which came first, makeup or dirt? Maybe it was makeup over the dirt. You don't know. How would you know?
I guess just either way. Then you had makeup. Why even put the makeup on at that point? Your face is covered in dirt. You haven't helped anything.
I don't think it's going to be like that. I feel like washing is going to be probably a little more prevalent, in a dystopian society than what we're led to believe. Everybody's got a little dirt on their face, like all the time. Just wash your damn face.
It's just there's water.
No water in the.
I just saw
times?
you walk by 3 cricks. Yeah. Wash your face.
Yeah, they're all over the place in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You just scoop some water on your face. You're done.
Yeah, the Talking Dead is really what that is. Is just walking.
I only ever watched the first season, so
I couldn't get through the first season. I was just like,
well, could you believe it gets worse?
They talked me to death
and talkier after that.
I think what it is the zombies. I'm on their side because they're like, shut up. That's their whole thing.
Let them be dead in peace.
They're like, no, it's the smell. They can smell you. No, they hear you. Like, shut up.
Yeah, because they can't smell you. Among other things, their nose has fallen off.
Yeah, that's always a problem. Yeah, I tried to watch that show. Just couldn't do it.
I never made it that far. I read the comic though. That was better.
This is the thing. Once I've watched the show, I don't want to see the comic. Like, I know that The Boys is based on a comic, and I don't want to read the comic because I want the show to be the experience because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the Umbrella Academy.
I just happened to read that comic first, The Walking Dead. I didn't know it was ever going to be a show.
Let me guess. If you read the book or you read the comic first, the show or movie or whatever never lives up to it, does it?
It depends, actually, because the Umbrella Academy was another one I read first, and I think the show does a really good job with it. So,
is it accurate with it? Is it?
I mean,
to a point.
Yeah, I mean, I think like season 2 or 3, like they started doing their own thing because they got ahead of the
I haven't
story.
finished this last season.
But yeah, I mean, and the same thing with The Boys. Like I think the show is better than the comic actually with The Boys. So
I mean, that's pretty inventive. You got a guy miniaturized running through somebody's penis and then accidentally getting big. Just like,
So the guy's running inside somebody's body, and then all of a
he
sudden
has the ability to shrink himself. Yeah,
unshrink at the wrong moment. Yeah,
that's pretty accurate.
I hope that wasn't a spoiler for somebody.
That show is unspoilable.
Yeah,
because you describe anything from that show,
there's
and without
plenty of other things.
Without context, there's no way to even know what that means.
Yeah, I enjoyed that show. Latina Leprechaun says, I feel the same way about Harry Potter. Read the books first, and I got this picture in my mind. Then I watched the movies, and it didn't live up to my imagination. Yeah, there's no better movie maker than your imagination. Just the Tip says, Jeffrey, you been to the Waffle House lately? Yeah, that whole dirty face thing in the apocalypse, that's real. That's real.
The Waffle House is what if you want to just try on the apocalypse for a little bit, see how it goes.
It's like a try on.
Yeah. You know what? That's not really for me. I think I should try to help make the world a better place. I don't want us to turn into Waffle House.
Oh boy.
Big George says, I don't know about you, but I'm bathing 3 times a day in the dystopian future. The only way to keep the nuclear radiation fall off of you or get some on you.
If it's in the water.
Yeah. How do you know where the water's coming from? You think you're going to have running water? No, you got to go get in that water. You better have a Geiger counter with you and some iodine, probably some iodine. Ringless Joe says, Jameis, with the touchdown on 4th down, the crab leg snatcher snatched another victory from the jaws of defeat. Last night was an ugly game, but it was a fun game because it snowed. That always makes it a more interesting outing, doesn't it? And my wife, she turned and she's like, why don't they have a roof? And I says, we talked about this the other day on the Daily Blender. I don't know if you know this, but I do a show. She's like, shut up. And I said, interestingly enough, there's only 10 stadiums that have roofs. They're 22 open air. That just, to me, blew me away. And she was already aggravated with my smart ass, and she walked off. But that's fine. So anyway, what was the point? Oh, yeah, it snowed. It made it very interesting.
Oh, it was fun to watch a football game with the snow coming down.
Depends on a few factors. Did you have one of the defenses? It looked like it was going to be a very low-scoring game. So much for that. Did you have certain players playing in this game that you needed to make points? So much for that. Some did better than others, but nobody did great.
You guys change your pick after I told you about Mike Tomlin being 0-7 on Thursday nights against divisional opponents?
I did not change my pick.
No, I should have. You're right. You're right.
I felt like the Browns were going to keep it close, but I couldn't in good conscience pick the 2-8 team.
Yeah, I understand.
It goes
against common sense. I understand.
But here's the thing. All season long, I feel like I've gotten the Thursday game wrong more than I've gotten it right, but I'm still beating you guys.
Partially is because I've joined you in getting most of those Thursday night games wrong. So
Big George says, Fantasy Football King told me to bench Nick Chubb. Good thing I faded him and played him anyway. Really good thing? How many points did he get? Was it like 18? How do you know you didn't have somebody who was going to get 20, 25?
But in a game like that where you have Chubb, Chubb had 2 touchdowns, so I'm guessing he did pretty well. The touchdowns will definitely get you there.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's 18 points.
Okay, so you might do better with another running back, but yeah, 18's not bad. But here's the thing: even the Fantasy Football King, I saw him on Twitter saying, "Hey, I don't get it right every time. I make mistakes," he says, but for most part, I stand by everything I say. So George was on Twitter trying to shame him.
Yeah, no, the guy, I'm telling you, the guy is about risk management. Like his taste for risk, his appetite for risk is pretty low. He usually tends to play the players or tell you to play the players who are, when they're bad, they're not going to get you 0. They may not get you more, but they won't get you nothing.
Justin Chip says, look at Big George, head in the clouds. Well, he is 7 feet tall. Slow-Mo Zoe says, I like how they superimpose the yardage lines. I think I'd rather have watched it without it. I wanted to see it the way the players saw it, but it did help you understand where they are, what they're doing. I saw the guy with the flamethrower sitting there walking there. And my wife is like, why is he blowing the snow there? And I'm like, well, because the hash marks. So they're assuming that it's going to end with a field goal. So you got to have the hash marks where you can see them, because that's where you got to aim for. You got to, you're going to kick from there. So Flogging Logger says, go Army, beat Navy. It's not the time for that. It's not the time for that. I'm going to say go Navy, because I know a lot of Navy people. How about you, Randy? You going Army, you going Navy?
Go Air Force. No, I'll take Army. Go
Air Force.
Army.
What, to cluster bomb the entire place? Here comes an a warthog.
Comes a B-52.
That's the noise that in my head that the machine gun makes when it just clears out everybody.
Yeah. That 30 millimeter Gatling gun on that A-10.
So how the A-10? That's it. The A-10. Yeah. So how about you, Keon? Army or Navy?
My dad was in the Army, so Army.
I have 2 stepsons and a son that was in the Army. So
how come the Air Force and the Marines don't have teams?
The Air Force does have a team.
Yeah. Okay. What about the Marines?
I didn't say it was always good.
Marines work for the Navy.
The Marines would be the most penalized players, all of them, because every single down, someone is getting hurt on the other team.
The Marine and Navy are from the same academy. So,
yeah, I know, but it's the Marines just call the Navy when they need a ride. Yeah, it's not the same. They're not the same. Nothing personal towards My wife, my grandfather, my father. Who else? My son was a Marine. So
yes.
Buffalo Mike says, "Hey guys, I'm hoping for an ASU Colorado Big 12 championship game. Coach Prime isn't going to go anywhere, by the way, as witnessed by the recent recruiting commitments. Why would he leave the sweet situation that he has now? Money, and he's Deion Sanders.
He's got a lot of money. Like, he's in every commercial you've ever seen.
If Jerry Jones calls him, he's going. You know,
I don't think so. I don't, because I don't think Deion wants to work for Jerry. Jerry wants to be the guy. So does Deion. That's not going to work.
So you're saying that Deion, the recruiter, wants to become Deion, the GM coach?
Maybe not the GM coach, but in terms of, like, if Deion is winning, Deion's getting the credit. The thing that Jerry has always wanted is to win and have the credit. That's the reason why Jimmy Johnson didn't work. Jimmy Johnson, great coach, wasn't even necessarily the GM. He worked with the GM, but like, Jimmy was stealing all the shine. Jimmy is the reason they won those Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry hates hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be the guy when they win. If Deion shows up, that's not going to be true. And his ego has not shrunk in the time that he's been alive.
That's why Parcells didn't last very long in Dallas.
Because Parcells, when they were good with Parcells would get the credit. Jerry doesn't hire coaches that can really push back to him.
Then he will never win another Super Bowl in his lifetime.
That is essentially what I'm saying. Yeah.
Flogging Lager says Jameis Montana totally shivved the Fighting Tomlins. What a great game. Even better that the Steelers lose, says Flogging Lager. Okay, let's talk about last night's mess. It was just a mess, and anything is going to happen in that mess. Jameis Winston suddenly looked good. Okay.
He had another game where he looked good this year.
Well, I know, but then he'll have another game where he's like, you take the ball. You take the ball.
That's Jameis.
Right, that's right. So, really, there's not much about the game to talk about except for that noise. My God, that noise. Did you guys hear that?
I didn't have the sound on.
Jesus Christ. I hate in games. I hate two people at any given football game that's televised. The person making the noise and the fact that the sound crew for the network television isn't smart enough to pot it down and move it somewhere where you don't hear like somebody going, or oh my God, I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
Well, Al Michaels, it turns out he hated it too. And he's like, they found the guys on there and he's like, oh, here's those geniuses. And there's a couple of guys hitting the side of like this fence, this divider for one of the overhangs or something. And they're like, oh boy. Oh my God. Listen, I get it. You paid a lot for that ticket. You get to enjoy the game. Hell, you're out there in the middle of a snowstorm, freezing temperatures, and it turned into some frozen rain and sleet and hail. And God bless you for coming out. But please stop. Just stop. You don't have a right to ruin a national broadcast where I'm sitting in my living room and my dog is going, what the hell is that? Oh, God, I hate that when people like sit there and go, and making noises. Just dumb, just constant noise. It's not helping the team. It's not. Everybody hates you. Everybody hates you. People sitting next to you, people across the country, people in other countries hate you. Am I wrong? Doesn't that piss you guys off too?
I don't know. There's a good chunk of these games that I just don't even watch with the sound on. So,
Amen. Sound is important to me. I got surround sound, so I feel like I'm in the stadium. And I'm going to rip my shirt off and beat the bleep out of that guy.
At the particular bar I was at, the sound was not on. I didn't hear anything.
It was horrible. It's like just imagine somebody hitting. There's like three fences all touching each other together. Oh, I hated that. Big George says that whining sound eerily familiar to the sound I make in the bedroom.
Man, what?
Why you?
What? Big George.
You must make a lot of money for her to still be there.
Because on every level. The fact that you do actually make that noise, which I have to assume has happened more than once because you have more than one kid.
She might wear earbuds.
And the fact that you told us
noise canceling. I think if you're with George, you got noise canceling.
It's just, just
Slow-mo Zoe says, yeah, that noise bothered me too. Ringless Joe says, Jameis Winston, comeback player of the year. Whoa, slow down, dude. They're 3-8 or whatever. So,
and I think he's only had 4 starts. Like, come on.
Just the Tip says, good board ops are hard to find. Also, good to find hard. What? Random Texter says, I got to believe someone has hacked Big George's account. His texts have been off the wall the last few weeks.
That's Big George, though.
No, that's the thing is they've been off the wall, but they've been in line with his personality.
Mm-hmm.
He's on drugs.
At
Big
this
George?
Point, at this point, I'd be willing to believe it.
It's probably like child's cough syrup, but he's on something.
That's because these are not the texts of a sober man.
So when you watch a game like that, you kind of have to shrug off missed calls and bad officiating. You know what I mean? Because it's even harder to see and harder to get stuff right. But the one thing that they did get wrong, which they shouldn't have, when they flagged Beanie Bishop for delay of game because he went over there and made a play on the ball, right? And because he thought nobody had touched Jerry Jeudy. So he's like, and he knocked the ball out of his hand, and he was trying to make a play. And then he heard the whistles and stuff like that. But because he knocked the ball out of his hand as they were rushing to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage, they called a delay of game. They shouldn't have done that.
No,
that was not a delay of game move. That was a play on the ball move.
Yeah, he's doing what he's coached to do. If you don't see a player touched down, you keep playing. That's
play through the whistle.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to do. And so they penalized him for essentially doing what.
Yeah, he's been trained. It's a good play. It's a good football play. Wasn't malicious. He wasn't holding the guy down. He wasn't like punting the football up into the stands. He was just doing what you're supposed to do in that situation. So, and then the other side of that, Jameis Winston, intentional grounding, felt like it was intentional grounding. I feel like it's hard to say because when you get hit and you're letting go of a ball, the ball can go anywhere. You can be like, no, I was throwing it to that guy, but then I got hit when it happened. So that's why it fell there by the linemen and stuff. But to me, he was in so much trouble. He couldn't see any receivers. He was just getting rid of it. I think that should have been called the intentional grounding.
I mean, there's a debate there, but I agree with you. It didn't look like he was trying to throw it to anybody in particular. Like usually, even when the ball gets hit out of your hands, you can sort of tell where the intent was. I couldn't see it if there was one.
And that's the other thing. You got to give benefit of doubt again, because flurries of snow in everybody's eyes and everybody's miserable and like, oh, I just want. I saw a late hit on I think Jameis Winston there towards the end of the game, or like who was it? No, it was a late hit on Russell Wilson after he threw the ball. That's what it was when he threw that ball, and the referee is looking right at him, and he's just like, "Yeah, it's all right." Like I kind of want to go inside.
Go home. Yeah.
I gotta get out of this.
Why am I extending this game?
No.
Was it helmet to helmet?
Clock going.
I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be fine.
Bleeding? There? You see any intestines? No, he's good. He's good. No problem.
But there was a hit on Jameis that was. You're right, Jeff. There was a hit on Jameis that was like that as well. It was like a late hit on Jameis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, then I guess you give it to one, you give it to the other. I guess.
Kind of a side note. Yeah. I know you're both are going to be excited. I was reading an article today. Speaking of officiating, this spring training for baseball, Manfred has authorized the use of robotic umpires calling balls and strikes.
Boop beep boop beep boop boop boop. Like for the season.
Or just spring training.
Why are they dragging this out?
But he's eyeing 2026 to make it a league-wide thing.
Why are they dragging it out?
I guess they want more data at the major league level.
Horse hockey.
I'm just telling you what I read. I think it's it's a move in the right direction for Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of officiating, no more of these Angel Hernandez, mythical strike zones. No more of these umpires with egos getting up there who've got a bone to pick with, a player or something. Now it will be a very uniform strike zone.
That is great. And the only reason I could think that they would drag their feet on that is to make it look like we've really done a lot of research. To make it look like, but who do they need? Because everybody agree. Who do you know that's against the robo umps?
There are a lot of people in baseball.
No, not in baseball. Who watching baseball?
Oh, I don't. A lot of people that watch the game don't want the robotic umpires.
Yeah, they're just definitely purists that watch the game.
Can I just say again about our country? We dumb as hell.
I mean, sure, because clearly we don't have the level of officiating that we've had in the past. And so if that's the case, then we need to assist these officials. I see no reason why this shouldn't happen. But there are people who are just, their heels are dug in. They do not like change. And that's a lot of baseball fans, because we've talked about, trying to get new fans into the game for a reason. There's a lot of people who've grown up watching baseball. It didn't have umpires, robo umpires. And they just don't want to see it. And they don't care what the result is.
Randy White, smart as hell when it comes to baseball, for sure. At first, he was like, I don't like it. And then he was like, okay, I'm warmed up to it. Why? Because we dumb as hell. And we can't put good human beings out there to do it. So Randy changed his tune and said, you know what? Yeah, somebody's got to get it right. And it ain't these guys. So it may as well be beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, boop.
If we had officials performing at a high enough level, we just have them. We wouldn't. Did I get
it wrong, Randy?
No, you're right. It was like the timer, the clock, the pitch clock.
Yeah.
I warmed up to that too. In the very beginning, I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. We shouldn't have to make these changes, but the officiating has gotten dumb, and the unions protect them. Can't do nothing about it. So now you do this about it. We dumb as hell. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We got more NFL to talk about and other assorted things too. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's fall football on The Fanatic. Catch all the live game play-by-play, Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday day and night NFL games, plus the Saturday NCAA football game of the week. It's all right here on the Valley's home for football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
With all the school supplies your child will need over the years, it can be easy to overlook the most important one of all, money, which is a good reason to open an AZ 529 education savings plan. Whether you invest $15 or $150 a month, your money grows tax-free. By the time your little one is ready for college, vocational school, or workforce training,
They'll have all the savings they need to get the job of their dreams. Visit az529.gov to get started.
This message is sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
We put you so close to the game, you can almost smell the sweat.
Ooh, awkward.
GCU basketball is live on the Fanatic.
Friday night, GCU men's basketball welcome in Norfolk State. Tip time 7 p.m. from the Global Credit Union Arena at GCU.
Michael Potter and Paul Coro have the call live for GCU basketball on 1580 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Let's get caught up on the text line here. We got a bunch of other NFL things to talk about. Big George says, well, no, guys, it is me. No illicit drugs or narcotics here. The only thing I'm high on is life and Chick-fil-A iced tea. You got to switch to decaf. Ringless Joe says, words that were definitely spoken by Jameis in yesterday's post-game interview. Bama, God, whatchamacallit, toughness, Jesus, faith, leadership, and mama. Was any of that an apology of that Uber driver? Quiet Cannon says, who will robot umpires benefit most? The hitters or the pitchers? It's a good question. That is a good question.
I think it'll benefit both on both sides. I think you won't have guys strike out on bad calls any longer. You won't have pitchers throw strike 3 only to have it called a ball. I think it will be advantageous for both sides, and quite honestly, I think it'll be good for the game. Now you have a more pure side of the game. You're not relying on human nature or human egos or human emotions to get involved. It's just going to be basically balls and strikes, man. They're not going to make the calls on bases, just balls and strikes.
Who does it benefit the most, Quiet Cannon? The truth. So that was the part where some dramatic music should have fired off, and then a close up on my face where I kind of gave that look.
And then you roll credits. It's the end of the movie. Yeah, we've all learned a lesson about that.
Or the intro title, like remember when they used to do that on CSI?
That's true. Yeah.
Slow Mo Zo says, I believe without the snow, Pittsburgh would have won. I think the defense was neutralized with the slick playing field. They all had the slick playing field.
Explain Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett was having a field day yesterday.
And Pittsburgh had TJ Watt.
TJ Watt, but TJ Watt wasn't getting double teamed like Myles Garrett was getting double teamed. So, explain that then. I do think Pittsburgh probably wins that game without the weather because I think the passing game is more important to them.
Right. And listen, Myles Garrett, he knows he's good. You see him in the interview? He's like, no, I'm the best.
He is.
Listen, I like TJ fine, but I'm the best.
He's the defending defensive player of the year, and I just can't come up with a good reason not to give it to him again.
No, not at all. No, and I'm not going to tell him nothing because I don't want to get hit in the head with a helmet. Players at the plate. No, that's not what he said. Sorry. I guess I was reading that different. I thought Justin Tip was being all like hip. He's like, yo, player. No. Justin Tip says, plays at the plate, fair foul calls, balk, give the coach someone to yell at. We're all thinking this even if it goes robo-ump. Well, no, there'll still be a guy there.
Yes, there'll be an umpire there. He'll be wearing an earpiece, and the computer that reads the pitch will tell him ball or strike. He'll call it a ball or a strike.
But he's still going to be responsible for making the call on plays at the plate.
Yes.
He still has the ability to see things and officiate based on what he sees. It's just they're taking away balls and strikes.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So this happened. Yeah, you know how the Browns are going to play the Bengals December 19th? Not anymore. First ever flex of Thursday Night Football has happened. And hold on a second. Who's playing? It's the Broncos and the Chargers now.
Oh,
they've changed it to Broncos
suddenly
and Chargers.
A very good game.
Yeah. Broncos and Chargers, of course, that night we've got GCU basketball, so it'll be on Money Radio. But still, it's a better matchup now, don't you think?
Yes,
more interesting matchup at least.
I think so. And like you're playing for a playoff spot in that particular game, not for the division. Obviously, they think the Chiefs.
What do you mean you don't want 2-3 win teams in there?
Oh,
what do you mean?
They just have reasons.
Gosh. So, listen, we appreciate when games get flexed. What's the matter, Keon? You all right?
Yeah, I just looked up and saw the very blue court of the New Orleans Pelicans, and it blinded me
so much. I hate this so much.
Blinded me. Yeah.
Oh, that in-season tournament court.
Big George says, will the robot umpire have the voice of HAL 9000? No. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid that was a ball.
No, I don't think so.
They should. No. They absolutely
that
should.
Would be funny as hell, though.
Heavy Metal Maniac says, I just can't wait to see one of them baseball umpires there, robotic ones there. Just go crazy. They'll keep yelling, strike, 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 strike. You're out. Or something like that. Like, he just goes haywire. I want to see it have one of those Cylon red things going back and forth, making the noise. Harry Soap says, put the strike zone on the Jumbotron. No need for a baseball ump there, do you?
Well, you still need an umpire to make calls at the plate, to appeal calls to first or third on a swinging strike if the batter went around or not, and if there was a balk. So you're going to have a plate umpire there for some things. You can't just replace him with like Jeffrey said, a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica.
Or I wanted to go beady, beady, beady. You're too young for that. Do you know what that is? That's Buck Rogers. There's a little robot named Tweaky. He was just a midget. He was just a midget, and he'd walk around and like this and beauty, beauty, beauty. And like there were the dog from Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
it was a monkey. There was a monkey in there. The 70s were a fun time for TV.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry, what was I doing? Oh, right. Ringless Joe says Sunday predictions: Panthers upset Chiefs.
Come on, man.
I can't take you seriously now. How am I going to read the rest of your predictions after that?
Yeah, I mean, that should have been the last thing, so we can at least go, oh, we're being trolled right now, as opposed to you lead with that. It's like, did you get the Aaron Rodgers stash, or what's going on?
The rest is bad, too.
Oh, boy.
Cowboys get the first Dakless win, and Bears in the skid.
The Cowboys aren't winning. Okay, come on. The Cowboys aren't winning. I have been very humble about this football team all year long. But when it comes to Dallas, I'm just telling you right now, they are getting destroyed on Sunday.
Ringless Joe, you need to take your head out of the oven. Slow-Mo Zoe says, I'm late to the show, but you guys talk about Minnesota losing last night? Yes, we did.
You better believe it. And how they lost.
So nice.
With Rudy Gobert having a temper tantrum in the middle of the game, in the middle of the key, and drawing a penalty on purpose.
When you wish upon a star. Oh, yes. Oh,
Rudy Gobert will help you where you are, apparently.
Fish Tank. He I don't know if he burned sage, prayed it into being. I don't know what he did, but by golly, he did the Lord's work. 888-368-1580. So we've been looking at the Hall of Fame information as it trickles in, who's doing what. And then somebody's like, hey, the Hall of Fame committee has decided to not let Robert Kraft in again. Dude is 83. If you're going to have him make a speech, you better hurry up, or else it's going to be. It's already hard to understand him. But I think it's. I mean, I heard somebody say, "Quit jerking Robert Kraft around." Like, no, he's
that's exactly the kind of thing that the NFL wants to forget happened.
Yeah.
So, what's the deal? Why are they not letting him in? Here's what they decided: this little committee for the. Old folks, I guess. The old folks committee. Is that what it's called? They let a guy named Ralph Hay in. Now, Ralph Hay was one of the original guys who helped put the NFL together. And wait, he's probably dead. But so they're going to bring bringing a dead guy in. And Robert Kraft passed over to be in the Hall of Fame. Why are they doing this to this guy? I mean, did he do something that people are mad about? I never heard anybody being mad at Robert Kraft. I'm sure he got busted trying to get a handy, but outside of that, who in football did he piss off?
Hard to say.
I don't know.
Slow-mo Zoe, yeah, Kraft probably be in the massage with a happy ending Hall of Fame. But as far as it goes with the actual Hall of Fame, are they keeping him out because of all that?
Well,
mess?
I think that let's see here. What CBS Sports has some sources saying that some of the voters believe that he was part of the biggest cheating scandal in NFL history.
Which one?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Exactly. The fact that you have to ask means you have options.
As a Colts fan, yeah. All right, well, I mean,
and it's different for where you have, Belichick and Brady, where the talent is so undeniable. I don't think that that's going to get held against them, because you can look to where they had influence and it had nothing to do with the scandal. Robert Kraft's only involvement in the team would be paying everybody and that scandal. So it's a little harder for him to overcome that in a way that Brady and Belichick probably won't have.
Well, whatever the case, he's running out of years, like I said, to make that speech. So here's something else I'm trying to wrap my head around. Because I like Jason Kelce as much as the next guy. He's good at what he does in his own way. But does he strike you as talk show host like material, like late night talk show host material? The ESPN's announced they're going to give him a late night talk show called They Call It Late Night with Jason Kelce. That's probably not in his best interest.
I mean, he might surprise us all, but he would have to do that.
Well, I mean, why not? He does a podcast with his brother.
It's not the same thing.
It's a different skill set. I mean, it's
well, I don't know that it isn't. I feel like he's got an enormous personality.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that sort of delivery, that slick delivery to be a talk show host, to come out there and be present of mind and run things. I'm not saying he's dumb. He's a pretty smart guy and he's a good communicator, but he's not that level. He's not that style of communicator.
And a late night talk show kind of is like the host of that show kind of has to make you feel welcome and make you feel smart. That's just a hard thing to do.
Like Jason Kelce always has made me feel smarter. Smart.
But it's a way of talking to the audience where it's like you're clearly smart enough to do this job, but you don't make anybody else feel dumber for having seen it. Like they all feel smart too. Like, hey, it's just us in on this secret. I don't know that everybody can do that. That's a small group of people, I think, in the world that actually have that ability. And maybe he's got it, but I don't know.
I could do it.
Well, yeah, you're doing it now.
Minus that whole famous thing. So that's the thing.
Yeah. The famous part is the part that actually gets you the job. Is the thing. So
no,
especially at ESPN.
My wife will say like, "Oh, you should do a YouTube thing." Yeah, well, I'm not famous, but you should put a thing that. Oh, if I had been famous, that's why the guys from Smartless, they're like, "Wow, this is amazing. Why do we have 1 million viewers?" But you started famous. It was easy for you.
Yeah.
I'm nobody. So, but I know I could do the job. You know?
I mean, like that's the thing is like a lot of people who are qualified to do the job aren't famous enough to get the job, especially at ESPN. The way that ESPN hires people now, you don't get a job on TV unless you're already famous. They're not interested in like developing somebody to level of fame. You kind of just have to show up that way already. That's why McAfee has a show.
It's a shame that they didn't come find us for a TV show. I think we could have given them a good one. But here's the thing. This is also weird. It's for 5 weeks and it's once a week. Are they trying to mimic what John Mulaney did with that LA thing? You know, I don't know if you saw that. It was live on Netflix.
I didn't see that actually. What do you mean once a week? How do you have a late night show once a week?
Well, John Mulaney's thing was like over the course of a few nights, kind of. But this is once a week for 5 weeks.
I think this
What's
is
the
definitely
point of this?
This is definitely a trial
At 1 a.m.
That tells me that he's famous enough to have the job, but they're not sure he could do it either. Because if they thought he could do it and he'd get ratings, they just give it to him. He just have the full job. That's like a partial tryout, like a little.
I think a lot of people will probably watch an episode. And then listen, I'm pulling for
better be a
good.
good one, whichever one it is.
Yeah. They're not my team, but I like the Kelsey brothers. I don't mind them. I don't get upset about them. I don't get upset about Taylor Swift or anything else. I like him.
Jason Kelsey, no longer an Eagle. I don't care.
If he's smart, he's going to have his brother Travis Swift on the show. First week.
Get Travis Swift and then his wife have her come out and do a cooking segment, or sing. Listen, whatever, or sing while doing a cooking segment.
Sing the cooking segment.
Yeah, I mean,
can I ask a question I just don't know the answer to? Is Taylor Swift a good singer?
Apparently, she's
all right.
She's a billionaire.
She's supposed to be.
I didn't ask you if she was rich as hell.
She's supposed to be a really good songwriter. Is the thing she's most.
Hey, by the way, they found Travis Kelsey's watch in Rhode Island. They're starting to find all his stuff.
It's just like it's sold in various places,
spread out across the country. They're like, hey, we got your watch. Do you want the watch back? I mean, can you just they dip
found
that
found it in Rhode Island? Who knows where?
Right, I need that thing dipped in alcohol and some hand gel or something,
and left there for hours, maybe, just to really make sure.
It's a personal kind of thing, isn't it? It's a personal thing to watch. It's going to touch right here. We got to take a break. When we come back, we've got on this date in Big George's sports history and, well, whatever else we can cram into the rest of this show. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Not all policies will qualify. Not available in all states.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is paired right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird, and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Brad Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Is there like a rule for being able to disown a child?
Is there a rule?
Yeah, is there some sort of guidelines? It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Why are you asking?
I just got a text from a child. I'm not going to say which one. And he said, hey, you know, Charlie Brown only had the one shirt. I'm like, why? He worked for Peanuts. I'm like, block. I just blocked my own child, but I want to take it further legally.
Wow.
That is a blockable offense, and yeah,
wow.
I certainly,
I don't want this child coming over for Christmas now.
It's just that would be tough.
Was that son or daughter?
I ain't saying.
Uh-huh.
But let me just say, paperwork will be filed. Slow-Mo Zoe says you could name your talk show Jeffrey from Space. All right, I gotta make some new commercials. I'll take that hint.
Sure. I didn't take that commercial the way the Fourth Dimension did. I have no. Why did they latch onto that so bad? Like I have no idea.
Oh, why did they latch onto those Kasai spots all those years ago?
I guess
that's
true.
Entertainment. So Just the Tip says NFL bringing in Ralph Hay to the Hall of Fame more than 100 years after his contribution says a lot about how much Kraft ain't getting in.
Yeah, that's true. I think we'll all be dead and gone before Robert Kraft.
Yeah, that's an exclamation point right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Very true.
Big George says, I'd much rather hear They Call It Blender After Dark with Randy White. Oh, he wants you to have your own show.
Really?
Yeah, why not? Here's what I figured out. Because Ralph was just being racist and stupid the other day. When he was making more of a comment about how things have changed from the 70s till now, but it didn't sound right. But here's the way it would work. I'd host the show, Randy'd be the announcer, and Keon, he'd be the director. Keon's the smartest guy in the room, so you put him in there and let him direct the show and tell everybody what to do. Let him run everything. I mean, what do you think of that?
Yeah,
or do you want to be in front of the camera?
I mean, I've always enjoyed being more in front of the camera, but like I have, at least back in school when we had like projects and that sort of thing. Like I put on the director hat a couple times. I liked it. It was pretty fun.
Well, the thing is, Randy has been with me forever, and look, that voice, So he'd be the announcer. You're not musically inclined, so you can't be the band. Well, I guess you could be the band leader. It'll be our secret that you don't know anything about music.
Well, I do know things about music. I did used to play trumpet. I just haven't played in a long time. But no, I was pretty good at trumpet for a while.
You got a pen right there? You got a pen? Hold up your pen. You like this? There it is. You're hired. All right. So he's the music leader for whatever the show would be.
He's the band director. Okay.
What you would be hiding is that I haven't played my trumpet in 10 years. Not that I don't know anything. I know a
you
couple
can't
of
play
things.
for crap and you know it.
Well, yeah, it's been 10 years.
Why don't you practice and come in and play us a Christmas song?
That would be next Christmas. I like to play trumpet.
This Christmas. Come on.
There are muscles around your mouth that if they are not
You talk
strong enough
every day, your muscles are fine.
to make the sound that a trumpet makes,
just the simplest of Christmas songs, really.
It's really not going to sound great.
That's all you got to do.
That's really not all you got to do.
I wish I hadn't spit all over my computer now.
It's more of a higher buzzing sound than that. That's like the sound a kazoo makes.
Oh, we could do. We could definitely.
Randy's closer.
What if I gave you a kazoo? You could be like, that's your instrument.
Well, that just sounds cartoonish at that point.
Listen, for this show, it works because then
Fair
everybody
enough.
else has actual stuff. But every
yeah.
now and then you bust out a kazoo solo, and that's that. You don't even have to practice for that. See, there you go. So, what you want to be the music leader?
Sure. We'll kazoo it until, and then every now and then the trumpet will come out, and then it'll surprise everybody. Like, oh wow, didn't know you could do that. But it'll be a while from now.
It'll be.
We'll start with the kazoo and work our way to trumpet.
We're working our way back to trumpet. Yeah.
I'd hurry up with that because we'd get canceled probably pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Good
Do we
point.
call it? Yeah, that's a good point. Do we call you? We call you Doc, or your Kevin? What
Why?
do we? I don't know. What
Why? Would you
it's
call me
Keon, I
either of
guess.
those things?
If we mixed Keon and Doc, it could be
Oh, no. Why would you do that?
Should have started
Wait.
Keon.
That's not
should have went the other way. Just
Yeah.
call him Keon. We'll call him Keon.
Yeah, like at that point,
Yeah.
you've just called me another person whose name rhymes exactly with mine. Just call me
yeah.
Keon.
Listen, this is a safe place. We're working. We're workshopping.
Yeah, it's
It's sort of an idea right now.
brainstorming.
If you remember, in the old days, Johnny would have Doc Severson over the couch every now and then. So Randy, he'll be in the drunk tank like Ed McMahon used to be. So like every now and then, you're going to need to sit on the couch, or I'll just bring you over, but with us. Just, like you're not going to be feel left out. And here's the cool thing: you get to pick all the music.
Yeah,
very cool. There's gonna be an awful lot of jazz, but
as long as it's peppy.
That's the only.
If it's a
jazz I
late
listen
night
to.
talk show, we come back to
That.
You just put everyone to sleep in the audience. Probably me at the desk.
No, I'm a big, bebop jazz person. So like Miles Davis and Art Blakey.
There you go.
Yeah, Coltrane. I don't listen to slow jazz.
All right, as long as you keep the party going, as long as it's a party, then you are now our music director.
There
so
it is.
now we've got a show ready to go. I guess now we just wait.
Wait for the invite.
Yeah. Any moment now.
The calls will be coming
Hold
in
on.
shortly.
Is the phone ringing? Is the phone ringing?
Not yet. Not yet.
How about now?
Yeah, no, still.
Pick
still
it up.
waiting.
Make sure it's working. Pick it up. Make sure it's working.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
Put it on the air there.
Let's see.
Let me hear it. Let me hear that tone. Oh, it's not working. I don't hear. Oh, Jesus. Hang up. That's when they're calling. Oh, God. That's when they were calling. Oh, damn.
That close.
Close. While we're waiting, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1950, the Fort Wayne Pistons beat the Minneapolis Lakers 19-18 in the lowest scoring game ever in NBA history.
Wow.
Pistons held the ball to keep it away from the 6'10" center George Mikan, the league's first intimidating big man, who scored 15 points in the contest.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the game that they're like, we need to figure something out. It was like, I got an idea. How about I've invented something in my garage. It's called a shot clock.
I've invented something in my garage.
Ding. Oh, there you go. And they're like, why does it only work for 24 seconds? They're like, just shut up. I mean, I started numbering the clock and I got to the top and it was like 24.
Ran out of space.
I spaced out the seconds because 24 is the perfect amount of time. That's why. You speed up the clock so it matches. All right, fine. Hey, so then that's this game is why in 1950 they're like, okay, you can't just hold the ball until it's over. You can't just run around going no when George Mikan is coming at you. I think it's funny it took them that long to sort this out because the NBA, they were playing basketball for quite some time before that, weren't they?
Yeah, but it must have taken someone a little bit of time to figure out that you could do that.
Why 24? Why not 23? Why not 25? How'd they come up with 24 specifically? That's the thing I don't understand. I mean, it's 24. Sometimes I feel like, all right, 30 seconds. Why not 30? Just a couple more seconds sometimes would make a huge difference, wouldn't it? I don't know how they came up with 24.
Interesting.
I'm curious about things like that. Curious about things. That's why people generally don't stand near me at parties. Moiswin says they did it that way for Kobe.
Okay, so they did 24 because it was based on the logic that teams averaged 60 shots per game, and they thought that teams would use the entire time to shoot. so that teams would still average around 60 shots per game.
Interesting.
With the shot clock. And then Mike D'Antoni was like 15 seconds or less offense. Do it now.
Moist one, no, that wasn't for Kobe. The helicopter dunk, that was for Kobe.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no,
And
no.
that's the way we're going to finish this week, eh?
That's your punctuation mark.
That's staying with the guys, the listeners, all weekend.
It's another reason we don't have a TV show, because a lot of these people are from LA. They probably just like
it would be the same as our football broadcast.
Bars
15 minutes, and then we'd be
hell with this guy.
Click.
All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home.